Well, I say every day. It's a getting closer to taking a bath with my fucking toaster.
Greetings and salutations and welcome. Why is that repeating?
No, keep it. It makes me feel sane because I'm getting closer and closer to wanting to take a bath with my toaster.
Yeah, no. It's just sorry, we are technically proficient today. Welcome to the 51st episode of Screaming to the Void, our 1 year anniversary of being on the air, where I have been screwing up shit left and right for the last 20 minutes. My name is Samuel Infamous. With me is my lovely co-host, Kat the Jobby Gamer. How you doing?
I'm great, and no, that was not screwing up because I love that thing very, very much.
No, I was hearing it a second time repeat because I had forgotten to mute the YouTube side, so it was coming through my earphones. Like, you guys couldn't hear that, but I could. And I was like, why is it playing over again?
Yeah,
it just it's gonna be a disaster today. As you can see, we're running a little light on guests, and part of the reason for that is because I woke up about 25 minutes ago, and just got this set up, sent out a couple of basic invites, so I haven't really even all that. JV, if you're free, I'll send you a link.
tell us about.
So it's going to be that kind of show today. There are some other people coming. They're running a little later than even me. I was up really late last night on a call, and I slept and I slept and I slept, and so here we are. But welcome to the show, everybody.
Yay!
So let's say hello to the chats. Clues first. UA is I mean, I don't think that's numerically accurate, but 69th. We got Carrie, not first. Kohai says she will not be able to watch, but she says happy 1 year anniversary of the show. We have been on. This will be 1 year that we have been on the air. So yeah, that's pretty cool. See Logical Spock in the chat. Hello, buddy. JV. If you'll give me a moment, because I'm still trying to do like 18 things at the same time. I will drop a link for you, because nothing is going like it was planned today. So, yeah, bummer. I'm actually Gen X, but yes. So, yeah. Yes, a year is 52 weeks. Now, the reason that we're on the 51st episode is because after the first episode, we did not do an episode on the second week. We skipped that one, and it was the week after that we did our second episode, because we hadn't yet set the schedule, figured out whether or not we wanted to do it weekly or bi-weekly or monthly or whatever. And by the second episode, we decided weekly, but we had skipped one in the middle. So yes, this will be the 51st episode is 1 year, 52 weeks. So yeah, welcome everybody. So yeah, so to start with, Nomi is running late. I have not heard from Ryan today, so hopefully he is. He was having some trouble with allergies last night, though.
Yeah.
Like some bad trouble, and then he took some pills and it knocked him out. So hopefully he's doing okay, and we'll see him. Yeah. Hey, thank you, Zillich. Appreciate it. So, and I saw your post. I haven't replied to it, but I did see your post on that thing I put out yesterday. So for those of you who missed last night and you're wondering why there's an American flag around my icon and why in the background instead of the usual logo is the American flag, it's because it's Pride Month and I'm fucking taking it back.
Bring it, do it. I was like, that's what I figured, because I noticed you were posting on Twitter about proud to be an American. So yeah, totally with you on that. Let's do it.
Yep. Yeah.
Except I'm going with I'm going with June is Dinosaur Month.
I mean, you can do that too. I like dinosaurs. Who doesn't like dinosaurs? Clue. No worries. Come in when you can, if you can. And yeah. It's just that kind of thing. So in honor of the ye old Pride month, what have you, I've got a thing that I
Oh
so
no.
whatchamacallit, Gays Against Groomers posted this dealio yesterday. It was TikTok of, let's see,
Hey, Pumpkin, it's
let me put that up on full. So this lady has decided to give people a piece of her mind, and we're going to listen to it.
Okay.
month. Let's talk about it. I'm not a big fan. I don't know what the fuck y'all are so oppressed about. I don't know what everybody's crying about. I don't know why everyone's so upset. I just don't feel oppressed. I don't remember the last time somebody had something bad to say about me because of my sexual preference, maybe because I don't talk about it. If you haven't noticed, I am a homosexual. I don't feel like I need any rainbow flag signs or signals to alert those around me that I am a homosexual. See, I don't make my sexuality part of my personality. As a matter of fact, I like to keep the two completely fucking separate. There's a difference. I depend on my personality to get me places in life, and I don't need anybody to feel bad for me because I eat pussy. I mean, for fuck's sake, we lit up the White House with rainbow colors back when Obama was in office. What more do we need? We can get married. I mean, I see more rainbow flags available for purchase than the red, white, and blue ones that represent our fucking country, but that's none of my business. I did sign up to die for this motherfucker, so it might be my business. See, I'm 40 years old, baby. I actually got discriminated against when I came out of the closet back in 1997. Was that 98? I don't know. I'm old. I forget shit. Nobody baked me a cake. Nobody threw me a party, and nobody bought me anything with a rainbow on it when I came out of the closet. It was quite the opposite, actually. That shit built character and showed me who the real ones were, and it showed me who the fake ones were. Here's my opinion. You don't have to keep listening if you don't want to, but I think a lot of you guys are manifesting this shit. Wake up in the morning, and you're like, oh my God, I'm so gay, and everyone around me is going to hate my gayness, and somebody's going to be mean to me, and then somebody's mean to you, and you're like, oh.
I like her because I could completely and totally get what she's saying because I wasn't hated for coming out of the closet, but I get it. Yeah, nice. I like her. I was afraid.
Yeah.
With all
Bad say about me because of my sexual preference. Maybe because
Hold on just a second because there's something screwed up somewhere. All right. It dropped out before she was done. All right. I think we're about here.
Closet. It was quite the opposite, actually. That shit built character and showed me who the real ones were, and it showed me who the fake ones were. Here's my opinion. You don't have to keep listening if you don't want to, but I think a lot of you guys are manifesting this shit. Wake up in the morning, you're like, oh my God, I'm so gay, and everyone around me is gonna hate my gayness, and somebody's gonna be mean to me, and then somebody's mean to you, and you're like, oh my God, I'm so fucking oppressed. See, I wake up in the morning and I'm like, I'm just another regular fucking human, and I didn't go do regular human shit. None of it involves rainbow flags. Anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say is my pride flag's still red, white, and blue. You can unfollow me if you want to. I don't fucking care. Mama didn't raise no bitch.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, wait. There's only one thing I would correct. Then something happens to them and they celebrate it. They want to be a victim because that's what happened with me with the dude. One of the things that happened to me with the dude last week before the goddamn Destiny stream where he wanted to turn himself into a victim. No, they want. It's like, oh, the moment they can come up with a supposed excuse to be like, you discriminated against me, which I didn't, but they could claim to be discriminated. They celebrate it. They want the attention. They want it. It's not even that. It's like, oh my God, I knew you. No, it's yay, you're discriminated against me. Now I'm gonna go and scream about it and cry about it on Twitter.
I get your point, but I think she made her point pretty clear too.
Oh no, she did make her point. It's just I would say that some of them, these idiots, want to be victims.
Mm-hmm.
Based, that's based though. I like her.
So JV, happy taking it up to Pooper Month.
Oh, believe me, and I just took one. I went and watched Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and I had to go out and drink and gamble just to get that.
That's funny.
Yeah,
there's a lot of guys on our side of YouTube who are praising it.
Shad wasn't. Shad didn't like it.
No.
Shad.
No.
Shad may not have. Fucking Nerdrotic did.
I did not enjoy it. If you want a story about Spider-Gwen, this is the film for you. Even though it's advertised as a story about.
Well, we knew that was coming. That's not a surprise, though. You know, the last movie was practically about her.
Well, this story is
Yeah.
it's a convoluted. It's about a half hour too long, and you've got a Miles Morales story mixed in with a Spider-Gwen story.
Iconic.
It starts with a monologue from Spider-Gwen, ends with a monologue from Spider-Gwen. So this is a story about Spider-Gwen.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I probably wasn't gonna go see it. I thought about it and I was just like,
I'm just glad I
first one
paid
was
$5.
okay.
I'm glad I paid $5.
I have like a
Matinee show.
matinee show. Yeah.
Yep.
The matinee's $5 where you're at?
Yeah.
God, that must be nice.
It's anywhere between 5 and 6.
Yeah, it's $6.50 here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's still not bad.
No,
And
no,
then-
but it used to be $3.50.
Well, yes, and then I make sure to buy some. I make sure to buy some. I make sure to buy some concessions. So at least my trip makes the cinema more money than the studio does.
Well, yeah, I can see that. We used to have this theater in another. I lived in another town, another state, and it was the $2 theater for a while, and then it was a $3 theater. But you could go see any show they had. Now this was usually these were they had these movies way after they'd been out in like regular theaters,
Right.
kind of thing. But you could go see a movie $2-3 any showing anytime.
Yeah, I had a theater like that, and when I lived in SoCal, it was $1.
Yeah, those are cool too. Because I mean, they're just as good as the other theaters. You just you wait a little longer and you can get to see it cheaper on a big screen.
Yep.
Yeah. I saw a lot of movies that way actually, because I was cheap. And as I got older, the prices started going up. I mean, I remember
and good for date nights.
Yeah. Well, I remember when I was a kid, 10 years old or so, I'd go over to my friend's house and we'd sit on his back porch because we could see one of the screens from the drive-in from his back porch, and we'd just like tune the radio in. Because used to just be on open airwaves.
Right.
You just had to find the right station, and you could just like listen into the movie as you watched it from it was you're not supposed to do that, folks, by the way, but
No,
we did.
And I'm just tweeting out that I'm simulcasting you from my channel as well.
Oh, I can do that.
Much appreciated. Yeah.
Of course. And it builds your views and your hours too.
It won't let me.
It should. I don't know why it wouldn't.
Fucking Roman.
I can't see it from
Oh
your
wait,
end. though, either,
I
so.
think I got it now.
Oh, Roman just gave me Roman of the Empire just gave me the best compliment ever. He says, "Whenever I read your tweets, all I hear is your Joker voice." And I'm like, "Oh, that's a lovely thought."
That's actually true. Yeah. No, I hear your voice when I read your tweets too. There's certain people that you get that you get that kind of like you start to hear their voice in your head. You've got a very distinctive voice, my man. It's
Why, thank you.
It's hard to mistake, except for maybe Mark Hamill in his prime.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I get that. As long as you don't say like anyone like Fran Drescher, then I'm fine with it.
No, and I'm not even talking like Mark Hamill's regular speaking voice, just the voice that he does for villain characters.
Right. Which he does for all of them.
He does, actually. I noticed that the other day. I was rewatching Avatar: The Last Airbender, the TV show, right? And so when it gets to the point where it introduces Fire Lord Ozai, you don't recognize at first that it's Mark Hamill because he's got like one line in the whole season.
Right.
But when they finally get to a point where he's got more speaking lines and stuff, you're like, holy shit, that's the Joker and the Hobgoblin.
Yes. Yes. Which hey, Nomi.
Hello.
Which I would say, and I'm going to talk to Tyler for another edition of we rank stuff. We're gonna do. I want to suggest a show where we do pop culture bad guys, and I will suggest Azula be in that conversation.
Yeah, that would be cool. Zombie,
Hey,
welcome. Hi, Zenny. We got a lot of people coming in.
Yes. Some from my
Aside from the
channel as
aside
well.
from the simulcasting thing, it's always nice to see some some
Exactly.
people who we have seen regularly.
hey,
Hi, Shadow.
everyone, just showing this off again because I gotta show this off. I just got my physical copy of the Mario movie, which apparently is coming out in
Wait.
physical format.
Harry's talking about a tattooed chick. I'm sorry. What? Hold on. Tattooed chicks. Please elaborate.
I think-
I'm not sure where he's going on with that.
Yeah. A little far fetched. But...
Wait,
Oh, and we got Twinkerbell now in the chat too.
Well, he usually is.
Yeah.
I know. Hi, Twinker.
Got something for him.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, Nomi.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm actually looking at designs for my next tattoo, Joker.
Ooh,
Yeah.
really? So
now I just need to find a good artist.
So, how many would this be when you get it?
The one that I'm interested in getting, that'd be my fourth.
If you don't remember, you have too many.
I only have three.
That sounds painful. I'm
Well, they don't tickle, dear. It is a needle, either 1 to 5 needles being jammed into your skin at high speed. No,
Ow.
it doesn't.
Yeah,
Right.
depending on the part of your body and
Right.
how thin it is
Yeah.
and how close muscle
Like
tissue
this one
or
here?
bone tissue
So-
is to the surface,
so-
it can hurt a lot
Oh.
more.
Yeah.
So this one here. Now my crow.
Yeah, but that stung.
Well, from here to here, that was fine. From here in, I was hating the fucking world.
Oh yeah, I bet because that's soft tissue.
Well, and it's close to this nerve cluster right here.
Oof.
The one
Yeah.
the one on the back of my neck hurt. The one each one I have on my calves didn't feel a thing.
Yeah. The one I have on my
Hey!
the one
Hey,
I have on
Fred,
my
what's
left
up?
hand side, it only hurt when he started getting closer to that underarm side soft tissue. Like, oh, okay, yeah, I hate that one.
Yeah. Bone and nerves. Bone and nerves.
Well, again, it depends on the area. Like Shadow's talking about how painful face tats he's imagining are. Honestly, from what I hear from people who've gotten them, it's really not that bad. But that's
No.
because the nerve endings in your face aren't as sensitive in a lot of other
It's the
places.
skull.
What
Yeah,
about
the top of your head hurts, but
Yeah.
What
like your
about
face,
chest?
not so
Do
much.
people do their chest as well?
Oh yeah,
Of course.
I have
yeah.
one on my chest.
Oh, cat. If there's
Cat.
skin, you can get it tattooed. If it is on your body, you can get it tattooed. People have tattooed their eyeballs, honey.
I've
Wait,
seen-
how do
I've-
you do that? You can't do the eyeballs. then?
Yes, you can.
Yes, you
Oh,
can.
yes, you can.
How?
You absolutely can.
It's basically it injects ink into the soft tissue.
Mhm.
Isn't that dangerous for the
Yes.
eyes?
Yes.
Yes.
Very.
Don't you not want to do that to your vision?
So it doesn't always go wrong, but if they screw up, yes, you can go blind, or it can just destroy the eye.
I believe
entirely.
it's like you have to have some sort of courses, and you have to go through a medical training in order to do that procedure for tattooing on the eyeballs.
Gotcha. Like inside and the top of your eyelids, fair game.
Yeah, you're just asking for it
Nose.
on that point.
Nose, lips.
inside of the lips.
Yep. That's
Why?
You know, I've seen people tattoo their tongues,
Why?
their gums.
a big one. Knuckles. Now,
You know,
these
my favorites are always the ones that are around real sensitive areas like nipples or buttholes.
I know.
Those
I know.
goth girls. Those goth girls, Samuel.
I know women who've gotten their lips down there tattooed.
Mhm.
Why?
Why not?
Why not?
I mean, not saying like I would go and do it, but like to each their own, because I would never do that, and that sounds painful
You
as
can't even
hell.
see it.
Oh, yes, you can.
Once you're married, yeah, or
No,
you're just a
You need to
hoe.
be married.
Yeah.
You know what?
You know, I
Boosh,
mean,
what's
there's,
up?
there's people who tattoo their wedding rings on so they don't have to like physically have a ring on all the time. Sometimes it's because of work. Sometimes they're allergic to metal or whatever. But right across the top of that little bone on that finger,
Oh,
that is extremely painful place to tattoo.
right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so these didn't hurt. It was the it was the touch up. It was the touch up a week later. That was just ridiculous.
Oh, I bet.
Boosh, not a bad time. Welcome.
What is it?
What
we're
what
just-
would you like to know, Kat, about tattoos and
Please,
I
Kat.
things that you may have? That we
don't want to know anymore. I've already lost. I just no. Yeah, you know, I'm good. I'm good.
What's
I
up,
mean,
zombie?
you know, the three of us here on the panel have tattoos. So.
Yeah.
And
I'm good. I'm not.
I am
getting-
willing to bet that I might have of the most.
I guarantee you do. I've only got two.
Yeah.
Wow,
can
because
attest to that.
I'm at like 30, and I've got the itch already.
Yeah, that was a concern of mine because a lot of guys I know who started getting tattoos, they got addicted to the needle.
Oh yeah, they're addicting.
Wait,
know,
how? If
absolutely.
it hurts? If it what?
It's
It's a weird feeling.
It's a pleasure
Yes.
pain thing, Kat.
Yeah.
yes.
There comes a point where the two
plus it-
sensations are nearly indistinguishable.
Yes,
Mhm.
and the sound of the tattoo gun, it's just like, oh, here it comes. Yes, bring it.
Like some may even say like getting tattoos is therapeutic for others.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true story.
Some people would say that.
Yeah.
Some people would say they're
Uh,
nuts,
and-
but yeah.
I think you
Yeah.
guys are all nuts.
Which is
Well-
weird because like I
Well-
in my field
well,
of eyebrow
Kat.
threading.
Cat, people in glass houses, dear. Come on now.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not saying I'm not nuts. I'm just saying. Why?
Look, so let me put it this way. All right, so you
What's
know
up,
how
Cody?
your average leftist
Jet Sparks,
right,
what's up?
running around,
Sorry.
they look they've got tattoos all over their bodies, but they also have a bunch of other like piercings and
Yes,
like
and
they
I
look
know.
like
That
cushions that
now
have been
that is
painted.
something.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Okay.
That used to be counterculture.
Mhm.
That used to be cool. Joker and
that
I
I
come
know.
from a time when that was. I mean, you do too, but you
Taboo.
were obviously
No,
not
I
involved in
know,
it,
but at
yeah.
the same time, I mean, I don't know all of it. Like, I didn't know about the hair. I knew that mohawks were cool. Long hair on guys was cool. I didn't know that the half shave look was cool. To me,
Yeah,
the half like
it
shaved
was.
look
It wasn't
it
just
was.
cool on the right woman. It was hot.
Natalie
Uh,
Dormer.
know,
Right.
But since like all of the shit that's blown up in this country in the West in the last I don't know 5, 6, 7 years, right? It stopped being hot. It started being a warning sign. Now it's a fucking turnoff for me. But
Yeah.
but yeah, like you see all that stuff. Like body modification is not anything new, and in counterculture, especially in the West, because we have no. Like if you look at the Maori, for example, who tattoo their whole life stories onto their skin, there's purpose behind each of those tattoos. They also do it,
that's
yeah,
true.
like he says, the one poke at a time with a hammer and a home and a handheld needle. But those tattoos tell their whole story. They tell the legend of the person who wears them.
Correct.
And there's purpose behind that. Whereas your average dude named Chad who lives down in the Phi Data whatever house. Who's got
Has a
tribal
piece of
tattoos on
flesh.
his arms and a
Right.
barbed
A piece of
wire across
flesh.
his neck or some shit like that. None of those mean anything,
No.
So the more that it stopped being having some kind of meaning to it, like at a certain point in our culture, it just became about body modification itself. That's why you got guys who split their tongues to look like lizards, guys who tattoo their eyeballs, people who extend their earlobes out to their fucking shoulders.
Yep.
Yeah, but they put those things in their
I-
things in their ears that you know what?
I'm not gonna lie.
Gauges.
I'm not gonna lie. I dated a gal with a split tongue. Oh wow.
Oh, I
Wow.
bet.
I mean, I ain't saying that there ain't a purpose for like a piercing on the tongue. There's a specific purpose for that. And if anybody says it's anything other than that specific purpose, they are full of shit. But,
Yeah.
it's not something that I would necessarily do to myself.
Well, let's see. I have had an ear, I've had a tongue, and I've had my nipples pierced.
Mm-hmm.
I've only had my nose pierced.
I believe
and
that
my
your
ears
nipples are
pierced.
pierced. I get this
Well,
image of JV sitting in the
well,
dark with like Vaseline
well.
on his nipples, just
Well, not anymore. That was a bad. It was a
Wouldn't that
bad.
hurt a lot doing your?
Well, it didn't hurt initially until some gal I was dating decided to get on top of me and pull.
ow, oh,
Oh,
I don't even have piercings there, and it hurts.
that hurt me.
And she promptly got mule kicked, and I told her to leave, and she said, "This is my house." I said, "I don't care. Leave." What's up, Gap?
Yep. Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome. So the thing about that is like that's part of why I don't have like hundreds of tattoos, aside from the fact that they're ridiculously expensive and time consuming.
They
Yes.
can be. They can be. I because of the town I live in, I happen to know a lot of tattoo artists, and if they're ever free and they can, and actually a lot of them have a room in their place where it's dedicated to doing tattoo work. I can get work done for half the price.
Yep.
Or
Hey,
in
thanks for
some-
stopping by, Boosh. Have a
And
good
there's
day.
some tattoo
Get
artists that
some-
there's some tattoo artists that will just do it for free because they need to build a portfolio.
Right, those
That's-
those
yeah,
those would
you
be
wanna-
the
apprentices.
interns.
Yeah.
The interns. Right.
They so it's even though like, because I know a bunch of tattoo artists myself. I mean, growing up kind of in that lifestyle, I was raised by bikers. I was a goth. Like you just get to know people who are doing these things for a living.
Mhm.
Hell, Maester Child does a little bit of it. It's even if they're willing to not charge you for the labor, you still got to pay for the materials and all that stuff. And I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes that gets expensive.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Because you
go
don't
ahead.
want them just working for free either. I mean, if they're doing you a favor, that's one thing, but at the same time, if they're turning your whole body into a canvas, right? It's not fair to not throw something their way. And it is also very, very time consuming, as I mentioned before. Like a full back tattoo can take anywhere from
That's like 5 sessions.
yeah, that's 5 sessions, and you've got to let it heal in between, and that. So you're talking maybe 2-3 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because doing a session, if you're doing just the outline, an outline would just be maybe 3 hours, depending how big. Like, well, if you want a full back, 3 hours, easy. And then you have to let 3 weeks or a month, however long you want it to heal, and then go back for the coloring. And once after the coloring's done, you have to go back for the shading.
I've got a back piece that's it's not a full back piece. It's just between my shoulder blades. It's and it's circular. It's about 9 inches across, right?
Yeah.
And I was on that table for 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My olive branch tree, or my olive branch tattoo took like 2 hours, 2.5. Yeah, and it was all in one. Because I'm the one and done type of person. Same thing how I did my wisdom teeth. Just take them all out. I don't want to do tops and then bottoms later. Just do it all.
And the old saying is they're very true. Good tattoos aren't cheap. Cheap tattoos aren't good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The very first tattoo I got is on my chest, and it's not very big. And I've had to have it redone professionally since. But when I first got it done, I was drunk. My buddy was drunk in a basement apartment with a drunken Mexican who had a homemade needle.
Oh God. And
Wait, you can do it at home.
Oh yeah.
And is it where? And
it's right. It's not directly over my heart, but it's pretty close to the center breastplate.
Oh yeah, the sternum. Ouch.
Get this. So I was 17, 18 years old at the time, and I was very, very thin, so I had no padding there whatsoever. So that hit bone the whole time, which hurt And then also I was drunk, so my blood was thin, and so most of
Mhm.
about half of the ink bled out that night.
And you're bleeding, right?
And it's scarred, and it wasn't good. I did get it redone professionally in Colorado by a professional tattoo
Oh,
artist years
wow.
later. But yeah, it was pretty rough looking initially because yeah,
Bench.
don't make decisions about your body like that when you're wasted, kids. It's not a good
No.
idea.
Nope.
No.
And that wasn't even like the worst horror story you'll ever hear about that sort of thing. That was just
Right?
it gets much worse. Not for me personally, but there are people out there who've made even dumber decisions while they were on something. And I was just drinking.
Yeah, we can just say that. Yeah.
But yeah, as to your question earlier, Kat, when you depending on where it is, depending on the thickness of the skin or the muscle tissue over the
Muscle.
area, depending on whether or not it actually goes through the skin and hits the bone, all these things contribute to exactly how painful and what kind of pain it is.
Right.
Yep.
So like I said, from here in, I'm hating life. This one went up here, nothing. Shoulders,
yeah,
nothing. Calves, nothing.
Yeah, my Hebrew tattoo behind my elbow didn't feel anything at all. And then the one I have on my wrist, yeah, that one hurt like a mother hen.
This one here, nothing.
It felt like a bee sting. And the one on my wrist was my first one. It was my what do you call it? Gateway tattoo.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. It hurt. It's done like a bee. And then after I was done, it only took 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Then I went and got Chipotle as nothing happened.
Yeah, it goes that way. Now, when I got my first one done, as I said, it was not professionally done. We didn't know what we were doing. The guy was a halfway decent artist, but he was drunk too. So, obviously the needle wasn't super steady. I mean, I paid a drawing for it, so I wasn't complaining. I drew him a picture and gave it to him because he wanted to tattoo something on his neck, and he didn't know how to draw, but he knew how to trace and stuff. So he didn't do it he didn't do it that night. But anyway, so I get that done, and it wasn't in professional circumstances, and it was also back when people were still, now people are a lot more careful about it because, oh my gosh, everything's traumatic, so we can't, somebody gets a tattoo, you got to let them heal, and you don't mess with it, and you cover it up, and you keep it moisturized. Back then we just slapped it as hard as we fucking could and said it was the septic ink.
Yeah.
That one, I felt that one.
Yeah, JV knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
When your friends are like, "Oh, you got a new tattoo."
Bah!
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you fucker.
No, thank you. Those are no friends of mine.
Zombie Box. Do I have a favorite tattoo? There's a lot. My knuckles, of course, says no joke, and then ha 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 ha. I've got my actual Joker card right there. I've got autographs from two singers that I liked. Alyssa White Gloves from Arch Enemy and Chippy from the.
Wait, how did they autograph your? Did they sign a piece of paper and they traced it, or did they actually?
They sign with marker, and then the tattoo artist goes over it.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. And I get a lot of questions about this one because I've been a staunch critic of Marvel, and yet I have a Captain Marvel tattoo on me. The reason this thing exists is right before this film came out, I was in observation 60 hours of Suicide Watch. And this was the first film I saw after that. And the little subplot of get knocked down, get back up, get knocked down, get back up, that resonated with me. So this is a constant reminder of get knocked down, get back up. What's up, Revan?
Yeah, that's a good reason though. I mean, I don't hate that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm thinking of a script tattoo, like words, It'll be right here. Well, you can't see me, but just think of it on my right arm, not a long one, maybe a small little defined script ones. And I'm highly considering of getting the words, maybe, I don't know, or maybe IDK, maybe IDK on my hand, not on my hand, but like on my arm.
Okay. Now, there was the joke, because a lot of folks get like Japanese or Chinese symbols.
Incorrectly, yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Like Ariana
Which-
Grande, she got barbecue, but Japanese barbecue tattooed on her handprint.
Which I laugh because I have a Chinese symbol on the back of my neck. I looked it up and it says invincible, or it could be broccoli beef. I have no idea. But I saw a joke. It says, what if Asians got the Western tattoos, and there's someone that just says water or fire on their arm.
Yeah.
Tom!
Oh,
Hey.
Hi,
Well,
Tom.
he is currently we're simulcasting
Sure.
from my channel.
Yes.
Actually.
Yeah.
But yes, on occasion. So,
Tom, we're talking about tattoos. You should join the club. We're gonna get barbed wire tattoos later after the stream. All the
like
You know what?
fucking hell
You
we
guys
are.
do that as much as you know what? Thankfully, you know what? I'm happy to say that it's against my religion. Thank God I'm a Muslim.
Well,
no,
it's against mine too, but I don't
It is
care.
against mine.
It's not against mine. It's actually kind of part of mine. But so, but yeah, and it's like, and I kind of understand that too. I don't have an issue with that. There's most Christians and Muslims also have prohibitions against marking their body because temple of God kind of thing. And in fact, if I understand correctly, Jews cannot be buried in a Jewish cemetery if they do anything like pierce or tattoo their bodies because they're considered unworthy at that point. Right. I think there's some kind of prohibition against that. So much so that they actually get ostracized and even in the afterlife over it, which I think is a little extreme, but
it's not that extreme
not
for
allowed.
Muslims.
Yeah, but
it's not that extreme in Islam. It's just you're not supposed to do it, but you do something you're not supposed to do. But yeah,
Revan, I dare you to do that.
But
No. He's like, you should give me a face tattoo of Brie Larson. No.
We should get it. We should get one for Shadow though.
Yeah.
Right? A Twinkerbell.
Yeah, he definitely he could. I mean, why
something
not?
tells me Shadow's father and mother will not allow it because he's very Christian.
Well, he's gonna be in the Marines, so
he's gonna.
he
Yeah, if he goes into the Marines,
one.
He's getting tattoos.
That's going to happen.
That's going to happen. And probably if he stirs up enough trouble, right? Because it's enough trouble for his fellows in the Marines. Some of those tattoos he may not get it willingly.
Yep.
Shadow, behave. Shadow, I don't want anything to happen.
Get him drunk. I can tell you exactly what's going to happen. They're going to get him drunk.
They're going to hold him down.
And they're going to tattoo his butthole.
Yeah.
Well, they are going to take him to a shop in whatever port they are in, and pay the guy and just like do it.
Yeah, I mean, odds are he'll probably get a tattoo for his battalion or whatever as well. I mean, that's usually pretty common. It's a way to tie them together. There are cultural reasons in the military for tattoos as well as just fucking with your buddies.
Yeah, there's an Air Force base not that far from here, and I used to do eyebrow. I used to do eyebrow threading. There was a group of airmen that came to the mall that I was working at. They saw what I did. They're like, one guy came up to me. He's like, "Hey, I will legit give you $200 if you can thread our friend's eyebrows off." I'm like, that is the easiest $200 I have ever made in my life. And yeah, because they're all, Air Force guys, military guys, so they do those type of jokes on their buddies.
Yeah.
And the guy even laughed. I was in process of threading the guy's eyebrows off. I was like, oh man, like I actually do feel guilty that this guy's gonna look like a freak after this. but $200. And then, yeah, he was such a good sport about everything. Yeah. So, yeah, I can only imagine Shadow with his Marine buddies getting drunk and then picking him up, taking him to the shop and like, all right, give him on his chest a stick man riding a Warnall.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
Or
I could
or-
also see because he's so obsessed with like Roman legions and shit. I could see him getting SPQR on his shoulder
Ew.
too.
Right.
Yeah.
Or because he's so homophobic, right above his ass says, enter here. Or a Tinkerbell.
Yeah, that would. He should get a Tinkerbell on his right butt cheek.
Right.
Oh God, no, Shadow, no.
No. Shadow, steer into the skid, bud. Just
Hey.
steer.
If he wants to discourage the ladies, and
That'll do
and stay pure, that'll do it.
Oh, yeah.
They see
Yeah,
that
yeah.
shit, they're gonna run.
Abstinence is what he does best.
I would
Oh.
love to see. I
Oh,
would.
that, yeah,
I would
to see
love to
that.
see Shadow done up in
No.
full corpse paint.
I would just love to see a goth Tinkerbell again.
I would just love to see it. Yeah, goth
Oh.
Tinkerbell.
No,
Not
not,
just
no,
just goth
not
Tinkerbell.
Shadow Doll, not Shadow Doll. Some goth chick to do with the half-shaved head, pulling it over, the tat. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm having a moment there.
It's okay. We'll
I
give that
can't-
to you.
So,
No,
Zombie,
no.
if you went to like meetups and stuff, and you had Jeremy Griggs' face tattooed over your own face, you don't think that would come off as a little weird?
I mean, I can see him be like, yes, nice meeting you.
God, Revan,
security.
Revan. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. You the kind of guy to fuck a dude in another ass and not have the goddamn common courtesy to give him a reach around.
Right. Oh, okay.
But
So,
yes,
okay. So, Nomi, just start looking up tattoo shops in the Dallas area around where you're gonna be.
Frank, real quick, Frank. My sister has that tattooed on her ass so she could win bets at bars.
Wow.
Yeah, the words "your name," not like
Yes.
She's like, hey, I got your name tattooed on my ass, and people wouldn't believe her, obviously, and then she'd do that and win the money.
Yes,
That's
I
actually
know
genius.
that person. Yes, I know.
I'll look for shops, but Dallas is still a big maybe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's uncertain, but yeah. But I kind of want to look for. I know there's an artist here in El Paso that I've been following, and her artwork is pretty precise, and and she's cheap, not like disgusting cheap, but she's fairly
reasonable.
priced for she's
Reasonable.
fairly priced for her work.
Yeah, you
I'm
ever end up
talking-
out my way? I know a couple of good artists out here too that you'd probably really like their work.
I know a few out here as well. I'm talking for that Dallas the meetup when Shadow is gonna say something that's gonna get him in trouble. So just
Hey, Bernie.
you can hold that over his head.
Well,
Yeah.
I think one of the things that, like I said, other than the fact that it's against my religion, but
It's against
What-
mine too.
what? Yeah, but I actually don't do things that are against my religion. No, but a friend of mine who nothing against her. Okay, she's a friend of mine. I like her. She's cool. But she spent like $1,600 on a tattoo. She's like,
Yeah.
should I buy? She was like, should I buy a PS5 or should I spend $800 on a tattoo? I'm like,
Oh,
PS5.
that's a hard decision.
and then she's like, she comes in a couple weeks later. She did buy the PS5, but she comes in with the tattoo. I'm like, $800 tattoo. She's like, no, twice that. I'm like, wait, why?
Yeah, easy. Easy.
Why?
I have a friend who has her left side tattooed, and it was easy. She has easily about 10 grand of work.
I would rather buy
Oh.
a computer.
Well, if you have the money, if you're good at what you do at your job and you have the funds to blow it off on a PS5 or on tattoos, hey, why not do it and then save up for the next one? Not for the tattoo, but for the next thing you want.
That's
If I had
it.
$1,600 to spend extra, I'd go for a computer. I wouldn't go
Honestly,
for-
Kat, it's really about personal preference. There's plenty of people who do not have religious
Yep.
restrictions against tattoos and have no interest in them and have none.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so it's not about, you know, and like some guys like JV have what is called the itch, which is just like, I've got tattoos, I need to get another one, you know, I need to get more, I need to feel that needle again. That does happen. And then you got guys like me. I have two. Both of them I've had for a long time. I also thought about, well, the first one not so much, but the second one I thought about for 10 years before I had it done. You know,
Yeah.
I have a couple of others planned, but I'm not quite ready yet. You know, because for me, if it doesn't have any meaning, it's got no place on my body.
Yeah.
Yeah, my last was this, and that was like 4 years ago. And I'm like,
yeah, the
it's about
last one I have is my olive branch one, and that was 2019. Yeah, 2019. Ooh, 4 years ago.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is also for me, there's no point. I mean, I can't show them off. Like I can't go
Yeah, you
walking
can.
around.
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
On
but
my face.
in your circumstances, yes, you are right.
But
So it's like, what's the point of like having the? I don't know.
But
Well,
so in the privacy of your own home,
I was just
our friends and
Yeah, but then
family, you
it's like,
can't.
well, I was just to ask you, Kat, like, say if you were to get married and your husband allowed you to get tattoos, would you get
I
one if
wouldn't just-
he?
No,
Would you-
because
would you-
again, it's against my religion. I don't care what that's one of those things where like then I wouldn't.
hypothetically.
Right.
I would still say, like I said, it's against.
Okay, so a husband would allow it, and because of your religion, no one would ever see it outside of your own home. But if your husband said yes, do it,
No,
you still
because
wouldn't do it.
because it's not about whether anyone can see it outside my home. It's against my religion, period. Even if people can't see it, it's sort of like, okay, so when I'm fasting Ramadan, right? I can in secret eat. No one will know about it, but that's not the point. It's God will know about it. Breaking my fast, even if no one else knows about it, God knows about it. So it's the same
Okay,
thing.
Fair enough. But
Yeah.
as far as
But
like
henna, I've used temporary henna. I've actually done henna. They put it on their hands. I've done that a few times.
Yeah.
Temporary henna is temporary, so it washes off after 2 weeks. In fact, a lot of Arab weddings do it for the bride gets it on the wedding, and
Yeah.
a lot of the women.
As Indian women as well.
now, as just a point of clarification though, nobody ever sees my tattoos either. It's not for them; it's for me.
right, exactly. Hey, Mrs.
Hi, Mrs.
Ooh.
Sasquatch.
Oh,
Welcome,
she has a
welcome.
tattoo. Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw her at Vegas. She
has a nice one too.
Yeah.
On her shoulder. Yeah.
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 Yeah. And if I were to get married, I'd get initials of
No,
the guy.
no.
No? Oh, that's
No.
right. Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. I
No.
forgot. Yes. Thank you, JV, for
That's
saving
a bad
me.
idea. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
No, the only names that will touch my
Just
body are
suggest.
my children's.
Correct.
Okay.
You know, and that is planned down the road. Those ones I'm dead certain on. But it's like I said, it's expensive. You know, and it's like not something that I just have the money to throw at any given time. So kind of thing. There are a couple others I have planned. One on the inside of my right arm will. I love the Latin language. You know, so you know, there's Latin on my back. There will be Latin on the inside of my arm, and it'll say "Memento Mori," which, for those of you who are not aware, I'm sure many of you are. But
No, me.
Thank you. I'm
No.
appreciative of my. I'm appreciative of my internet family, my internet friends, to keep me
yeah,
accountable.
yeah,
Yeah,
not
no names,
yeah.
no names, no initials, nothing.
Let me put it this way: my ex-wife has her previous husband's name tattooed on his ass, on her
Oh
ass.
yeah,
Ew.
my second ex-wife has a matching tattoo of this one here. That's basically the same thing.
Right. So the memento mori comes from an old Shadow should appreciate this Roman tale, where a conquering general came home and they were throwing him a big parade because he was the big hero. He just like slaughtered thousands of Germanians or whatever, and a slave steps out of the crowd and threw a human femur bone down at his feet and said memento mori, which means remember, you too will die. You are only mortal.
Mm, I
So,
like that.
yeah, as a reminder to myself, that's going on the arm in big freaking letters. And then, of course, on my left ring finger across where a ring would be, I will have the Latin words Ve Victus.
Oh, I like that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Which-
like well, oh, go ahead,
What
Samuel.
does that mean?
Suffering to the conquered is a reminder never to put a ring there again.
Nice.
I love it. The maybe IDK script tattoo that I want. It's based off a song from one of my favorite artists, John Bellion. John Bellion. He's a little unknown to himself, but if you hear bangers from Justin Bieber, Jonas Brothers, Selena Gomez, he wrote all of their songs.
No, then I don't
Yeah,
care.
so he has the money because these fake artists pay him to write songs for them. Anyway,
Gotcha.
but he makes good stuff. So one song, it's literally called Maybe IDK. And the chorus goes, what if I knew tomorrow? I guess I wouldn't need faith. I guess if I never fell, I guess I would never need grace. I guess if I knew his plans, I guess he wouldn't be God. So maybe I don't know. So maybe I don't know. And maybe that's okay.
Okay.
And then yes,
The missus, you buy it, I'll get it.
Which Spice Girl though?
Ginger, of course.
Okay. Not Scary Spice?
No, Ginger.
Okay.
Which speaking of tunes, Sam, you'll like this. I had a couple come into my bar on Thursday night, and they were, metalhead rockers, whatever. So I got to actually introduce them to bands like Epica and Nightwish, Arch Enemy, yeah, and they were all like, oh my god, this is amazing, and I'm like, I know.
Did you ever just slightly off topic here, man? Did you ever get into Unleash the Archers?
I like them. They're from Vancouver.
Yeah.
Vancouver. She has got a set of pipes that are ridiculous.
There is a video of her on YouTube. The lead singer's name is Brittany Slays. For those who are not familiar,
Well, Hayes, and they
stage name is Slays. Yeah,
Slays, correct.
But she's got a hell of a set of lungs on her. She's a very nice person. Drinks a lot of coffee.
Yes.
And you can tell. But there's a video of her somewhere on YouTube where she is at a karaoke bar belting out Judas Priest's Painkiller.
Oh yeah.
And it's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, she is something else. What was it? Now the song that I introduced most folks to for that band is Awakenings. And I'm like, do you like Ronnie James Dio and Iron Maiden? And they're like, oh yeah. I'm like, you'll like this then.
Yeah, there's a heavy power metal element to them that's pretty cool. That I like quite a bit. I mean, obviously I'm more of a symphonic metal guy, and to a slightly lesser extent Japanese prog metal, which is not for everybody, by the way.
No, it is not. It is not at all. And then I played I played the Epica Sancta Terra with Simone, and yes, and their jaws were on the ground.
Yeah, that's usually most people's introduction these days to Epica. It's not the song I would pick. I would pick Unleashed, but that's just me.
I would generally pick Edge of the Blades.
Yeah, that was good too. There are other songs that they do too that are very, very different than the stuff that most people hear. Once Upon a Nightmare is one of the most impressive pieces of music put together, I think, in recent memory. It's stunning, but it's not their usual stuff. It's very do you guys remember that old cartoon, The Snowman?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
It's about
Nope.
a boy. He builds a snowman. It magically comes to life, and over the course of the night, they
It's
go
called
on
Frosty.
adventures. It's not
Happy birthday!
quite Frosty, but anyway, there's a song. Nightwish did a cover of the theme song for that.
Okay.
And I'm trying to remember what it was called, but it's so. Anyway, it's kind of got that kind of lilting feel to it, but with a big choral and orchestral punch to it.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
It's very, very cool.
Yeah.
I would love to play these things for you guys here live on the YouTubes, but you know how the copyright shit goes. So
Yep.
all I can do is recommend them. Go check out Epica. Go check out Nightwish. Unleash the Archers is pretty good.
Frank, which one? Because I've shown you lots of them. Oh, wait, the girl who turned to the metal, that would be Simone Simons. She used to be a pop singer, but transitioned to the metal because it gave her greater freedom as an artist.
Kind of. She had pop training, but she was like 15 when she got together with Epica. She didn't really have any like pop music out there so much as she had training for it. But it sort of lent itself to what they were trying to do with, like, Mark Jansen was who she ended up meeting, and I think she was dating one of the original members at one point too, like a bassist or some shit. They were all very young at the time. She was obviously the youngest, and she's been with them pretty much her entire music career.
Correct.
But she had some training. She went to some of the musical conservatory schools in Europe prior to that. Yeah. So yeah, she's hot too.
I mean, if you ask him, she is the vocalist on the planet. We disagree slightly on that.
Oh, everybody disagrees with me about that, man. It's fine.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, she's amazing, but I still think that Laura is a better vocalist.
I think that, like I said, I think she's more technically proficient. She's more precise, but she doesn't have the same like emotionally evocative quality. And I think that she's less experimental.
Maybe.
I think Simone, like if you track the last several albums that Epica did, they've started doing some like out there stuff,
Right.
and it's and it all good, but like they've been trying new things. They've been doing new things with her vocals. They've been doing new things with the music, the various instruments. Like they've done some wild keyboard work recently,
right?
For instance, and they're, I think, more experimental. I think Tuomas of Nightwish is a very experimental composer, but I don't think that Flora is a particularly experimental singer. I think she has range and she is able to do multiple things, but she stays within those multiple things rather than branching out.
Well, yeah, and most of what people know
Zenny,
of her.
Thank you. Walking in the Air.
And most of what people know of her is singing songs that were made for Annette and Taria.
Yeah, that's true. All of their most popular songs came from those eras. Frankly, like I liked the last couple out. Let me put it this way.
What was it?
Endless Forms Most Beautiful was a good album, but it was not on the same level as Imaginarium or Dark Passion Play, which they had Annette for. And I really didn't care that much for what's that last one called? It's like Human Being or Being Human or some shit like that. Or Human Nature. Yeah, that's it. It's Human Nature. I didn't really care much for that last album, which was a shock to me because I like most everything Tuomas composes. I even have the Life and Times of Scrooge album he did on his own, which is great, by the way. Check it out.
Did you watch the YouTube video? Learn this set in 48 hours.
A few years ago, yeah. Well, I saw Nightwish about a year before that happened.
Jealous.
I saw him play. Yeah, I saw him play with Annette in Denver. Yeah.
Okay.
This because they were still on the Dark Passion Play tour. When they came back around for the second time around is about when it had, because I think they had recorded Imaginarium, but some of those songs weren't out yet. And she quit halfway through their North American tour.
So
I understand the circumstances were extreme,
Right.
but
And I think actually I think she quit like 2 shows in because they were in Salt Lake, and
right, but
Camelot just
they
happened to
had
be in
covered
town.
most of South America at that point. They had just gotten up to the States, and they had a whole bunch of dates toured for here in Canada, and I think one in Mexico City.
Right. And
Yeah.
then because for like the first 2 shows in like on the US tour, at least in Salt Lake, and the one right after that, they had Alyssa and Elise Rind from Amaranth cover for Annette.
Yeah. Elise is great. It's kind of almost like throwing somebody who's used to one genre into another. Like what she
Right.
does is more
Very
metalcore,
specific.
and it's got its. She's very good at what she does. But yeah, I think she did a great job trying to, hold up to that, because she was touring, I
Hey,
think, with
Jacob.
Camelot at the time, wasn't she?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and so they were because Camelot was I think on that tour with them. I saw those guys play once too. They're fucking
Yeah,
fantastic.
that's when they had they had just gotten Tommy, and Tommy was the one who could bring all these Scandinavian singers.
Yeah,
in.
that was right after Roy left, right? Roy Khan.
Yep.
Yeah, fantastic male vocalist, by the way. Fantastic. Tommy's really good too, but I think I like Roy better.
And the girls are like, I don't know what you're talking about here.
So
I'm following.
Yeah, we've been going on for about 20 minutes about European bands that probably nobody who's watching us has ever heard of.
and you all should, because the American the music industry sucks.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean that's what I keep telling people. They're like, oh well, what kind of bands you like? And I'll start listening. And they're like, I've never heard of these. I was like, that's because they don't play them on the American radio.
Nope.
You get the same 5 bands with the same 5 songs each, and they all sound exactly the same. Now, it's American radio sucks. It does.
Yep.
And if you happen to find a rock station, it's the Metallica, Five Finger Death Punch, and in this moment, that's about it.
Right. Yeah, and like in its moment has its moments.
Right.
Not to put too fine a point on it. I fucking hate Five Finger Death Punch.
They're the most overrated band ever.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, they are. Well, and the fact is, Ivan Moody can sing. He's very good at it, but he can't write. I'm sorry, he can't. When he writes his own songs, they're not good.
No.
When he's singing somebody else's words, he's fine.
Yeah, the best show, the best show I ever saw, which kind of guarantees my entry into rock and roll heaven. I was at a Lollapalooza years ago, and on the same bill I had Rage Against the Machine, I had Tool, and the original lineup of Alice in Chains.
I've seen Tool twice and a Perfect Circle once.
Yeah, but Alice in Chains was something else. I
would have loved to see them when Lane Staley was still alive.
Lane Staley is twacked out of his fucking mind. He has no idea what time zone, planet, alternate reality he is in, but he sings effortless.
Yeah,
most of those rock stars are.
Yeah. And Lane Staley was one of the few. I hesitate to say rock star. I mean, yeah, it was like alternative rock. It was borderline grunge kind of thing. But he's one of the few. Alice in Chains is one of the few bands that I even liked from the 90s.
Correct.
I know a lot of people say that, the 90s was the best for everything. It wasn't for music. The music in the 90s fucking blew ass. It did. I'm sorry. There were a few standouts, but for the most part, like grunge was something that we should probably apologize to the world for. I'm just saying.
I mean, but and everyone probably liked the 2 worst bands of those 4. So
Nirvana
and Pearl Jam, when Soundgarden was a way better band, and Alice in Chains was just amazing.
Yeah, besides, let me just ask this: do we have more to apologize for in the 90s than they have to apologize in the last 5 or 6 years?
Musically, yes. Yes.
No. We have more to apologize for in the 90s than they have to apologize now.
For music, yes. I mean, now it's expected to be garbage. Back then, they were supposed to be good.
Yeah, but I
It was
know,
a
but
bait and switch.
no, but no. But the fact that it doesn't excuse that it's garbage. I would say they ruined all media. So
And I would say, as far as music goes, kind of the second wave of the British invasion in the 80s, all the new wave stuff was just amazing.
Yeah. Dempsey, let me clarify. Music in general, the music you heard on the radio at the time was not great. I admit there are a number of bands that came through the 90s that's maybe, that I love to this day. I like Tool's music. Tool came out of the 90s.
Korn, Deftones, yes.
I liked early Korn. I don't like later Korn. Anything after Follow the Leader fucking blows in my opinion. But so yeah, like Deftones had their moments. I was never really into them, but I liked what I heard. I don't like Pantera. I'm sorry, I never have. I just
Pantera is
that's a
overrated.
personal preference thing. Yeah.
Well,
It's
they
a
used to be
personal preference.
glammy. They used to be glammy as fuck.
I'm not concerned with that. I just didn't think they were particularly to my taste, and never have been. I liked some Metallica. I liked Megadeth. I liked, and obviously these are top of the charts guys here. So yeah, no, I get that there are bands and there is music from the 90s that was good. I was generalizing, mostly because what you heard on the radio was, either pop country, which became a thing during that decade, by the way,
or pop
punk, or you had the grunge. I fucking hated the grunge scene. I did. I'm one of the people that you'll meet. And a lot of people are going to have a problem with what I'm about to say here, but I'm going to say it anyway. We're better off without Kurt Cobain. I think we are better off, even musically, without Kurt Cobain. I'm not saying that what happened to him was right. I'm just saying that without him, like if he was still around, for example, would Dave Grohl, right, has been very successful with his Foo Fighters band. Would that have happened if he was still in Cobain's shadow?
Oh no.
And like Static, and then I'd say post his death, it's the only thing that's helped Kurt Cobain, because again, like him or not, he will go down as one of the most influential people in the music history.
Influential, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll give you that. But I mean, you look back at like the guys who were considered most influential, right? Throughout music. I mean, some of them were
Elvis,
awesome.
Lennon,
Some
Michael
of them
Jackson
were, like it was more their fame than it was their actual talent, though.
Correct.
I mean, Michael Jackson was a fucking legend because he was that good.
Right.
The Beatles were a legend because they were that popular. I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
They weren't that
Correct.
good. Pink Floyd, same thing. Very
Correct.
popular, especially with the drug crowd. And some of their music was very well put together. A lot of it was you have to be high to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And they were very influential. I'm not debating their influence. They were massively influential. Without them, prog metal wouldn't be a thing. And I like prog
Correct.
metal, but I don't really like Pink Floyd.
No.
So it's like I listen to bands like Porcupine Tree now, or Opeth, or Duran Gray out of Japan.
Opeth, I know them. What do you think about OTEP?
I think that I liked OTEP when I initially heard it, but I was in a much more aggressive place in my life.
Save Us Trump, that album.
Yeah. I don't know if that was the album,
or was it the Ascension?
I think it was Ascension. Yeah,
that was a good album.
So,
yeah, I admire her passion. Her politics are way off the rails.
I don't care about that. I mean, take Tool, for example. I love Tool's music, with the exception of that last album. I think that with the exception of one track, that last album wasn't as good. But that's a personal preference thing. It's not about their talent. But Maynard James Keenan is a fucking asshole. And he has always been a fucking asshole. That doesn't stop me from enjoying his music. I listen to all three of his bands.
Mark
Same with
Hamill.
Reznor. Same with Trent Reznor too. He's a complete ass.
Oh yeah, yeah, but that doesn't mean that I don't enjoy some early Nine Inch Nails. Later on,
Correct.
not so much. But again, personal preference thing, and I think that I moved past certain things when the artist did not. So,
Who's that? Who's that? Is that who? Who are you gonna go see this week?
yeah, that's a good question.
Weekend.
Let us know. I'm
know.
interested.
Now, my favorite band, again, is a band like how Samael says, no one knows about. Is this little goth band out of Toronto?
I know him.
Oh yes, you do. Little goth band out of Toronto called the Birthday Massacre. Just a fun little band. I describe them as if Shirley Manson from Garbage, and which a great band, and Marilyn Manson had a musical love child while watching every Tim Burton film and listening to a shit ton of Depeche Mode and The Cure. That is this band.
Yeah, it's dark wave. It's like new wave, but with a nasty razor under all the pretty
death
shit.
twist to it. Yes,
Yeah.
which is weird. Which is weird because I was at my friend's bar, and on their jukebox during the day shift hours, they shut down all the hard metal stuff. So I go look on the jukebox, and there's my band, all their songs there. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm playing this, and I'm like, it's funny your bar doesn't allow metal songs, but they'll allow every song about death on here.
Yeah. So, but real quick, I would like to just to kind of simplify Joker's explanation of the Birthday Massacre. If you haven't heard them, go check them out. All of their albums are on YouTube for free.
Yep.
They're fantastic. They're very, very cool people for the most part.
Yes,
I was gonna
I've met them
say,
numerous times.
Sam, if you could send me some suggestions, because I have no idea half of what you guys are saying in Twitter. Give me some.
What type of music do you like, Kat? Or are you just open to anything?
I'm open to anything at this point.
I don't think that like Kat and I have talked about this before. We did an episode on kind of music. I don't know. This is late last year, I think.
Yeah, I lost track of time. I can't believe I've been on this for what, almost a year now. Or are you saying?
Yeah, almost. Yeah, you came on in episode 10.
Yeah,
So-
I can't believe it. But the thing is, first off, I grew up in a very, we didn't really listen to music, and I mean, keep in mind, and then I was a teacher's pet, so yeah, I was basically much. Come on, I was a Star Trek nerd. All right, I just sat
Nothing
around
wrong
reading
with
Star
that.
Trek novels. I read Star Trek novels. I never listened to music.
I think music is integral to Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
I read the books.
Fair enough. Yeah, I can send you some suggestions regarding what I was saying about the Birthday Massacre. For those of you who are like thinking 90s, 80s, 90s music, think like Typo Negative meets, I don't know, Tears for Fears
Oh, okay.
kind of thing.
That
It's
actually sounds like a good
it's-
mashup.
It's like new wave music, but with a goth undercurrent.
All right.
So yeah, yeah, and it's I enjoy it. I enjoy it quite a bit. Joker Voice obviously had the lead singer tattoo her name to his arm, so he probably enjoys them more than I do. But
Cool.
So what was it was last year that all my favorite emo bands growing up in high school reunited, and we're at this little event called Joker might know about it because it was in Las Vegas while we were young fest. And never have I ever wanted to go to a festival so much in my life, because even in my younger years when I went to a couple of Warped Tours, but I quickly discovered I don't like big crowds like this. Just because people can do the mosh pits and they get a little crazy, they get out of hand, which is okay. They're expressing their love for the music. But me, if you're not paying attention, you'll get whacked in the face with a fist. But never have I ever like, no 30-year-old is going to be there doing a dance and just kicking like what he used to do in high school days. So I just wanted to go. It was like, well, All American Rejects, Amberlyn. Who I can't remember the lineup last year, but it was probably a good thing because I know there was like what 100 or like 50 miles per hour winds during the festival. So it was a good investment that I didn't go. But those are the bands I grew up listening to. Was just like the emo scene kid music.
Right.
Seosin, Emery, Panic at the Disco.
I came up in I was very much into different things when I was young. When I was young, I would listen to things like I was a big fan of TLC, for example.
Oh, okay.
Right, which is a bit of a left turn from what we were been talking about here. But
I was just to say I didn't expect that from you.
I liked TLC. I still love Weird Al Yankovic. I don't care who says anything.
Oh yeah, I love Weird Al.
That guy was awesome.
I still love the Spice Girls. So
yeah, well, Weird Al is a very accomplished musician. Yes, he does mostly parodies, but he can play almost anything on almost any instrument and make it work. There's a lot of talent in that man. But I liked some early rap. I mean, like back when it was still hip hop before, like NWA got involved and all that stuff.
Right.
The Fat Boys, the Beastie Boys.
Oh, the Beastie Boys. So good.
Fresh Prince and DJ Jazzy Jeff, before all of the things that happened with that.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing. So like my musical taste has changed quite a bit over the years. So to answer, actually, Dempsey asked a question about Faith No More. I never really listened to them much. They were mostly of an era where I was listening to other genres, so I never really got into them.
I mean, they have the one big hit, which was Epic, and other than that, they're relatively obscure.
I know there's a lot of people who swear by him, and they've got a very devoted fan base. I was just never part of it,
right?
And I'm not that familiar with a lot of their stuff aside from like Epic, which was on the radio a lot. So I don't really have a lot good or bad to say about them because I don't really know that much about them. I never really listened to them. So, but yeah, I listened to a lot of different shit growing up, and I mean, I still, to this day, I'm not gonna lie, I still have a crush on T-Boz from TLC.
Right.
To this day, that she is. I don't care that she's only like 10, 15 years older than me anyway, but she's still a damn good looking woman, in my opinion. So,
I did have a thing for Left Eye because she's crazy and
everybody had a thing for Left Eye. That was a tragedy and a half.
Well, and because Samuel and I have a thing for crazy too. So,
it's not so much that I have a thing for crazy, but the crazy has a thing for me.
Sure.
It's just not something that I do on purpose. But
of course not. But there it is.
Yeah.
Hey, let me put this way. When I was a kid, I grew up with Cat Stevens. Only he was known as Yusuf Islam, and he had kids music.
Yeah. Well, Cat Stevens came up like before he was Yusuf Islam. He was in that like Mamas and the Papas kind of era. And he was pretty good when
I met him.
Yeah, how was that?
Yeah, at a Muslim. I don't remember. I just remember that he was at a Muslim convention that we went to.
Yeah, fair enough.
I was very young. It was a very long time ago. I didn't know at the time that he was. I knew he'd converted, but I didn't know he was like important in that sense. Like where it's like, yeah, I knew him as Yusuf Islam first. So it was like, oh, I did not know he used to be a famous singer before he became a Muslim.
Oh yeah.
I thought he started making Muslim music for Muslims.
Well, he famously converted.
Yeah, but
yeah,
it was a big deal to fans of the hippie music scene.
Yeah,
because they were just like, what's he doing? He got all religious.
He got all different religions.
MC En Vogue, hello.
Oh yes. yeah. That's a good call. En Vogue was pretty badass.
Yeah. and they could harmonize like
Mhm.
there was no tomorrow.
Let me ask you this. Speaking of harmony, because this was towards the middle-ish of the beginning of like the hardcore gangster rap era, so they didn't really do like that, but they had those kind of themes running through them. What did you think of Bone Thugs and Harmony?
I didn't.
Okay, I was just curious. Because
Yeah,
they like the in harmony part. That's not a euphemism. They're actually very good
Right.
at that. You know,
I generally don't like, as a general, I don't like rap. I've never liked it. I think it's the lowest form of the music that there is, but that's just me.
yeah,
Uh,
okay, I could see that. I'm not a rap guy myself. I haven't, it's not like I liked hip hop way back before it got big. There
Now
are
the
a few.
Beastie Boys is the exception because they used to be
That's
a
hip hop.
right, and well, they used to be a underground punk band too.
Yeah. But there are certain exceptions that I'll make an exception for. Like I like Busta Rhymes. I like the way that he puts words together. I like the fact that he can move his words out of his mouth faster than almost anybody on the planet. I just think that's
God,
entrancing.
right?
He does auctions too.
Really?
Yeah, he's an auctioneer, which is
Wow.
insane because he's so fast when he speaks.
There were some times that I liked Eminem just the way that he could change his cadence at the drop of a hat.
Mhm. Yeah. Dempsey, good point. And I did think about them, but I did not
Boyz II
actually
Men, right?
say them. Boys to Men, very, very. They brought harmonizing back because at that point we'd been listening to stuff from the 70s and the 80s, and it was like, there was some harmonizing and all that stuff, but it wasn't on the level of like early 50s and 60s Motown. And I think Boys to Men
Correct.
really brought that kind of back. Those guys, the Fugees. Hey, Larry.
Hey, Lawrence.
Hey, what's going on?
Welcome to the party.
Hello.
I heard somebody say that rap is the lowest form of music,
Did I
yet
stutter?
many bands of different genres
Correct.
copied them.
I get it, but still, it's the lowest form of me.
Because
Oh no.
I'm like, okay, so it's lowest form, but you named the Beastie Boys and you named Eminem.
Okay.
Do
And?
you see the pattern?
No.
You don't see the pattern.
I know where he's going with this. Jesus.
I
You
do
don't see
too.
the pattern.
I do too. I see the pattern, but that's irrelevant.
How is that
Talent.
irrelevant?
Talent is talent. It doesn't matter about it doesn't matter about skin color. Don't go there.
Don't go there.
Don't go there.
I didn't go there. You did.
No, I didn't.
Yes, I did. Yes, you did.
I expressed talent.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're saying that they're the only two that have talent in the hip hop genre. They're the only two.
From my person.
So the Beastie
taste.
Boys and Eminem can out rap KRS-One.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, because he didn't sell out to the mainstream. But you ask any well-known rapper, you can look it up, and his name will be one of the top on their list.
Right, and that's fine.
Also,
so what's your point?
Also, Busta Rhymes is fast, Sam, but Twista holds the world record. He is the fastest rapper ever.
Again, I don't know who that is.
I know.
Static.
And you got to keep in mind, Larry, that my experience with rap pretty much ended in 2001. So, like, Busta Rhymes is fresh in my memory. So, yeah.
Everybody. I want to go back to this Joker. Do you not see the pattern?
I see what you're trying to insinuate, and I'm not going to let you know.
What am I insinuating?
That I'm a racist because the Beastie Boys are all white Jews from the Bronx, and Eminem is white. So no, I appreciated their talent. The color of their skin is irrelevant. So I am actually rather offended that you are even insinuating that because you and I have been on panels numerous times. You know that is not true. So
I don't.
so
I think
so
Whoa,
so
Sam,
so
let him cook.
so drop it.
Yeah, I did not
Okay,
expect this
so I will
conversation.
retort because
No,
it's
drop
free
it.
country.
I'm not going
No,
to.
I'm not going to retort it
I,
because I haven't gotten to the point of what I was saying.
Oh, jeez.
That was not what I was going to say at all. What I was going to say is that I know the Beastie Boys did not start out as a hip hop group. Eminem grew up around 2 streets over from where I was born. The Beastie Boys were in the Bronx. You appreciate their talent because the area and the people they were around and the culture around it, regardless of race. What you thought I was saying was not what I was saying at all.
no.
But I wanted to give you the respect of letting you speak your piece in case someone else thought that's what you were saying.
Okay.
That's why I came on.
Okay. I apologize then, sir.
Oh no, you don't have to apologize at all. It's okay. Because there was nothing wrong with the way that you said what you said. I didn't take any offense to it at all.
Well, thank you, sir.
Cool.
But
Well, high fives
specific
all around,
areas,
guys.
well, specific areas will appreciate it because you have East Coast rappers of a certain style and you have West Coast rappers of a certain style. And if you ask them both what they think about each other's, they'll say each other's style is trash, which is why a lot of them were fighting in the 90s. That's why Suge Knight got up at the Source Awards and picked a fight with P. Diddy because they were in New York and the New Yorkers were telling Snoop Dogg and the rest of the West Coast rappers that their rap was trash while they were on stage singing, which caused Snoop Dogg to flip out and go off on them on the microphone.
Hmm.
So race has nothing to do with it.
Well, good. Do we agree then?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay.
All
That's
I know
fair.
about Eminem is Feminem from Rings of Power. So you guys talk about Eminem, I'm
Who?
like thinking, Feminem,
There's a
Galadriel.
woman.
the Nas
There's a
gals.
woman character
That
in
dude
Evil
that
Elf.
played Galadriel?
No.
No.
Hold up.
Okay.
There's an actress who plays one of the evil elves in the Rings of Power who looks a lot like Eminem with tits.
Yeah, so it's called Feminem.
Oh,
Joker, I need to see it. You got a photo
yes.
of that? I need to see that.
I know who you're talking about.
Do what the Nas gals?
Yeah, Feminem.
Uh,
You know who I would love to meet in person? Riding Raven. Because, I think the two of
Oh,
us would be
she's a
friends.
delight. She's
Yeah.
so sweet.
Because we and her, we often talk on Twitter, and it's like, if I ever met her in person, I think the two of us would be friends because we just seem to get along a lot, and I think she sounds awesome.
Yeah,
So, I would love to meet her in person.
Yeah, she's a
You know
real
who else
one.
is great to? You know who else is great to meet in person? Horror Amarada.
Oh, she's amazing. I love her a lot. I met her in Vegas, and
Right.
yeah, she is such a fun person to talk to. So much knowledge.
hey, so do you have like an actual name for that character or actress? Because when I
No.
brought up Feminem, there's a bunch of AI shit with Eminem done
Just,
up like a girl.
look
And I don't
under-
want to.
Just look under the Rings of Power ring wraiths. Because they become Nazgul. And I'm like, those haven't not existed yet, but here they are.
Wow, no, this brings up like actual Lord of the Rings stuff.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can find something here.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, no, that's.
Oh my God, they are getting desperate. So it used to be we had ads running on TVs for just one brand of TV for Rings of Power, and then they stopped them, and now they're back again, and another brand is also running ads for Rings of Power. It's like, dear God, you guys are getting really desperate. The show sucked.
Well, I mean, they're as of right now, they're on the hook for 5 seasons. They could probably bow out after 3, but they're going to have to really do some serious rebooting.
Nah, the thing is, are they actually going to get anybody back? Because I know,
probably not.
I'm completely. I could not finish it. The level of just stupid. Putting aside the lore breaking, the stupid tower that they collapsed instead of collapsing the goddamn bridge. That was just dumb beyond words. The only thing I had fun with was Shad's videos.
Yeah, that was great. That's a long link in the private chat, but that's a image.
Okay, so
You haven't found it yet, Sam?
no, JV did.
Oh, good.
Image.
I mean, it can't be that ugly.
I mean, yeah.
Yes.
It's not
yes.
great.
Nope.
All right. Let's see.
Come on, it's Rings of Power. You know automatically, even without seeing it, that it's gotta be
What the? What the hell is that?
That is
That's
Hollywood
Eminem.
at its best.
Yeah.
That is
I mean,
1 million. That's a
choke on
what?
my freaking Kool-Aid.
That is $1 billion each episode worth quality.
Yeah.
That is the ugliest thing. I've never seen a person look like a demon without actually having demonic makeup on.
Yeah.
And that does look like Eminem.
Yeah,
Doesn't
that's why
it?
they call it feminine, because it's a woman with boobs that were
Doesn't
crushed.
look like it.
Wait, that was like one of the first images that came out of that character, and everybody assumed that that was going to be Sauron. And as it turns out, later images showed that Sauron there had a significantly sized rack.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
On that.
Yeah.
They made Sauron female.
No, because it turns out that's not Sauron.
No.
Sauron's the handsome dude who's hanging out with Galadriel the whole time.
Yeah,
Correct.
that really slept with her.
Yeah, he's got long black hair, right?
And
least in the-
everyone.
No. That was a Adar. No,
Okay.
the really handsome guy, the like shorter, long hair.
Yeah.
He is the guy who he is the guy who does all the metallurgy. He is the one who pulls her out of the ocean. The one who she basically wants to bang.
Yeah, she gives him
entire time.
thumbs up.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Was that in the books?
No.
No.
I'm
None
glad
of
I
it
didn't
was.
watch it.
None of it was.
Nothing about the Rings of Power is in the books. All they had the rights to were a specific set number of the appendices, and not even all of the appendices. And so they really only had the rights to certain names. Most of what they did in that series was 100% made up by them.
Yep.
Which shows you how
Wow.
bad of an imagination these idiots have.
And for the very limited amount of source material that they had. What's his name?
Yeah, you want to throw a couple of bucks his way, JV?
No, I don't. For the limited source material that they had, they paid $250 million.
Yeah.
That's
that.
The
ridiculous.
level of dumb that they went through is like, my God, how
It's like they went. It's like they went the way of Target.
No, try Wish. Wish.com. That's other.
no, but I think I know what you mean. You're saying they were so it's like they went the way of Bud Light because they
Yeah.
kept keep doubling and tripling and being dumb.
Yeah, and Target's right behind them.
Yeah. Oh, God.
That's crazy. I'm glad I didn't watch that show. Something told me not to.
I told you not to.
Smart man, you are smart. Do not. I regret
told
what
you
I
not to.
watched.
Because I think I remember you were just like, well, yeah, it seems like something that might be interesting. And I was like, don't do it, dude. Don't do it. And then you didn't. And now you're grateful. And so you're welcome.
No, well, the thing is, it's also
which Amazon's numbers showed that like 35% of the folks who started watching that show actually finished it. And I'm like, oh, that's all of us who were doing content.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. Telling people how horrible it is. Hey, we took the bullets so that you didn't have to.
no.
That's
The thing is,
I stay on brand. I watch things so folks don't have to.
yeah, well, the thing is, it isn't even just that it's lore breaking. I was just saying it is so dumb. Like they had this tower on a hill, and they could a fort that they could have hid in, Instead, and then there was a bridge leading to it, and they could have destroyed the bridge and hidden in the fort. Instead, they destroyed the fort and went to a town out in the open. It's just the level of stupid and dumb is just phenomenal. Like, just moronically stupid. These stupid killed it for me. It wasn't just the lore. It's just dumb. And Galadriel was annoying as hell.
Galadriel.
Yes, Galadriel, and just.
Translation.
So I never even got to see Feminem in any of it. All I knew is just people were talking about Feminem. I never saw what Feminem did.
I mean, from what I understand, not a lot besides glower at the camera.
Right. Now,
good.
and yes, she had a nice rack, and so did Isildur's sister, who had no purpose at all for the story whatsoever, except she had a very nice rack.
And also,
Girl power.
doesn't exist in the appendices. Just saying.
No.
Correct.
But you need girl power, of course.
That's why.
Well,
that's
no,
why
no,
he had a
no.
sister. That's why he had a sister. Was because obviously he couldn't be. Isildur rises to greatness.
Right.
But
And he falls from it too.
Yes.
But he rises to greatness, and they can't have that.
It was his sister who helped him rise to greatness.
Which is kind of just like, even though it's not from Marvel Studios, the Spider-Verse film that I saw today, like we said at the top of the show, this is more about Spider-Gwen than it is Miles, even in his own film.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, I don't care that much about Miles either, so I probably wouldn't have gone to see this anyway.
I'm gonna go see it on Tuesday with my friend.
Enjoy yourself.
I have no expectations for it. The reason why we're going on Tuesday because it's like $3.
Right.
Yeah. So like, all right, yeah, I'll go when it's $3 because it's like it's a family-owned theater. So Tuesdays is like family night. So like, all right, cool. I will sneak in the alcohol. Oh, go ahead, Larry.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is one of Nomitron's top 10 tips.
Yes.
Yep.
Get drunk before you watch a horrible movie?
Yes.
Yep.
Well, yes, that's actually one of my things too. Is go to
Yes.
happy hour before you go to movies.
Yes.
Speaking of Nomitron, you have to bounce.
I do. Nomitron does need to mosey out of here because
Why?
it is dinner time. That's why, Kat.
That's a good reason. That's a good reason.
I've been doing my best to do intermittent fasting, and I've been doing good. But once that 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock hour hits, I am not a pleasant person. And yeah, so I need to go.
Yeah, she turns into Darth Nomi. So this.
Cool. Then no, you can't go eat. I want to see Darth Nomi.
No, you don't.
I'm telling you, Kat, you do not. I am begging you. You do not want to see Darth Nomi.
All right.
You know how
cool.
I will leave after this statement. You know how you can choke people with the Force? Like,
yes, I want to see you do that.
Yeah, no, you don't, because it will be a pretty picture. But anyway, it was nice chatting with you guys. I hope you have a great weekend, and then I will see you all.
Where
on
can
this
the good
side.
people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Know Me Without You, and on my YouTube channel at Know Me Without You. And this Monday, I will actually be dropping my cruise video because I finished
content.
I've already finished it. Yeah, so you'll see me falling down on a beach and eating dirt.
Oh, sorry. Never mind.
No, okay. What's up? That's it.
That's it.
All right.
Well, but real quick before you go, are there any announcements that you want to make?
Yes. I will be the new host. Well, I will be hosting with two lovely gentlemen on this panel every Friday night. I am one of the new hosts for Abyssal Musings.
Yay!
Wow.
Yeah. So you'll be seeing more content, more questions, and more more stuff to deliver on the show that we can make it engaging and entertaining for everyone.
Well, yeah, I mean, Lawrence needs help because he just ever since I took over,
you white son of a
the
bitch.
ratings, the ratings spiked, and he's just been sidelined. He's been trying to recoup ever since.
I figured as much, but I figure,
You
I
light
think what this
complected
show was,
bastard. You better take that crap back.
the show was
Never.
lacking some femme touch and femme insight
Some
in it, so I am
estrogen?
filling in. Yeah, some estrogen,
Okay.
but yeah, I'm bringing the boobs so I can bring in the views.
Hey,
I mean,
I
love you, JV, but you don't got that.
Yeah, don't be don't be a feminine. Don't slap them big titties on. So
it doesn't apply. According to my ex-wife, I do have boobs. In fact, she handed me her bra one day and said, "Here, you need this more than I do."
Oh,
damn.
ouch.
So that was back in the day, though, when I was in worse shape.
All right. Well,
Okay.
on that note, Nomi, thank you for, as always, being part of the panel here on Screaming to the Void. And yes, she is joining as a permanent member of the co-hosting staff on Abyssal Musings on Friday nights, same channel. Yeah, great to have you, as always. And we'll
Glad
look
to be a
forward to
part
your
of this
video on
team.
Monday.
Yes, glad to be part of this team. Oh, JV, I caught that with my hand and put it on my cheek. If only you saw it on my camera. But anyway,
But which
yes,
cheek?
y'all have my left hand facial cheek.
Oh, bummer. That's no fun.
Yeah. Sorry. Well, y'all have a good weekend. Bye.
Bye.
So hey, JB, for you guys, for you, Kat, and some of you in the chat that may not have seen last night's stream, just for you guys know, that cruise that Nomi was on, I came across a news report. That same ship was hit by the storm that she just missed, and it flooded out and almost sank.
Oh, goddamn.
Wow.
Wait,
Much appreciated.
Hey, Lou.
Thank you.
UA, which one is it that you want me to show? Where is it in the Discord? Which Discord? General?
Oh, dear. I'll be right back again. I have to pee. Beer. It happens.
Yeah, well, when you get older, small bladder issues, that kind of thing.
Go fuck yourself.
You got to tickle that prostate.
Oh, my
sometimes.
truck. Oh, God, I want that truck.
Says on the meme channel. Again, Luke Castley, thank you for stopping by. Much appreciated. For those of you who don't know Luke Castley's channel, you should and are interested at all in learning Spanish or advice for a good home life, I would say Luke Castley is the place to go. She's fantastic. She was on our channel last week and said some very unsavory things about my friend Ryan that were hilarious and hysterical, especially coming from her. So go check that out too, because it was fun. If you wouldn't eat a T-Rex, don't eat a chicken. But I would eat a T-Rex. So
I would eat a T-Rex too.
Yeah, me too.
I'm hungry enough. I think that's the one. I think that's the one he means. That's the last one he shared.
Yeah, I absolutely would eat a T-Rex. I mean, I'll eat apex predator. I had alligator like 2 days ago.
How was it? Was it tough like gum or like?
No, it was a little overcooked. You got to treat it like poultry when you cook it, and I think it was a little overcooked, a little rubbery.
I love this
being
one.
dead inside and sick of life, but at least there are cats. I see cats don't do it for me, so yeah. I don't. I guess I'm immune to that little parasite that makes people love cats.
I think PETA shared that too. That's the thing. I think that was shared by PETA.
Really?
Yeah. It's shared by PETA.
Yeah, it was shared by PETA.
Ordering that chicken sandwich, T-Rex wouldn't approve of you eating their descendants. Yeah, that was shared by PETA.
Yeah. T-Rex would eat me. I'd absolutely eat a T-Rex.
Yeah.
And for the record, chickens will eat you too. I mean, not all at once, obviously, but he's got those little mouths.
I wonder how long it would take a chicken to eat a whole person.
One chicken?
Yeah, like let's say that the body doesn't like decompose all the way. It stays just right for the chicken. I wonder how long it would take that chicken to eat an entire person.
That's a lot of meat for a bird that size. So, I mean, assuming that it's okay with the thing rotting as it goes, I'd
Well, I
say
just
maybe a
said it.
year and a half.
Yeah,
I
he
just
said
said
it
the
could
right
condition.
conditions.
Yeah, maybe a year and a half, just because it's a lot of meat.
I say
Nah,
3 years.
I'm gonna say a lot less.
Really?
Yeah, I mean every day those things are constantly eating.
Yeah, they are constantly eating, but they don't have like huge stomachs and and all that. So like they pick at things. They pick at and pick and pick. I don't know that they would necessarily. What
I think
size of
that's
human
what-
are we talking
Well,
about?
they
yeah,
poop.
that's the
They
other thing to
poop
keep in
too.
mind. Like for example, me, I'm a kind of small human, so it would take a lot less to eat me than.
Yeah,
Well,
whereas
they'd be
somebody
done
like
with you by the end of the day if they
like say
constantly eat.
take
What are you
somebody
talking
like
about?
Terry
What are you talking about?
Crews' size,
I
who's
got more
pretty
muscle.
big.
I got more muscle than I got muscle on my arms.
I guess the question is how long would it take them to eat Shaq?
Oh Lord, they would need help.
Well, which Shaq? That's the other thing, because I saw a picture of him on a printer commercial thing, and I'm like, damn, what happened to him?
Well, I mean, he got old.
And fat.
Well, yeah, that's what happens when you get old. To a lot of people, actually. All that muscle that he's had built up over the years, right? If you don't work out and maintain that, it migrates south.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it definitely migrated south.
But he's still what 7
7. He's 7'3".
7'3"? Yeah, he's still a big man. But yeah, if you don't work out and maintain, and he retired from the sports and started getting into more commentary section, so he was more of a sedentary kind of job. So yeah, I imagine that a lot of that muscle.
Who's this, Shaq?
Yeah,
Blue, it would take
Shaq is
it would
Shaq
it
is
would take-
7'1".
is he? I think it was 7'3".
Oh,
7'1".
absolutely, Lou.
he's
Well,
still
it would still take him and Andre the Giant, in Clue's case. It would take one chicken. It'd take years, I think, to do it.
Well, yeah,
No, I
and
wouldn't say you.
just for this, just to give some size of, just to give some scope on how big Andre the Giant was. His casket was the size of a grand piano.
Cool.
Yeah.
Then yes, I am absolutely. But you know what? I'm a very active person. The idea, I knew a friend of our family who could barely move because she was so large. So you know what? I don't want to be like that. You're talking to someone who likes to bike to work, run around from one side of the store to the other and back again and back and forth. So the idea of being fat, yes, I will admit it. I am fat phobic. I don't want to be fat. I don't care about anybody else. I'm not scared of anybody who's fat. Unless you get close enough to sit on me, then I'm going to be a little worried. But no, you want to be fat, Nate.
Now do you think that it might have something to do with the amount of liquid crack cocaine you drink?
Yeah, it's
He's got a point.
it's not pure crack
Yeah.
cocaine. It's also got a bunch of drain cleaner in there.
Right.
Yeah, but it keeps me physically fit and moving, and I
It's
like
Because it eats your insides.
cool.
I thought those wires you were holding up with one arm earlier was keeping you in shape.
Those girl, just wait until the stomach ulcers hit.
I hope Buster falls asleep. Wait, what happened to that question you were going to ask us, Samuel?
I
Go
don't
ahead.
know. I got nothing. I got tied up in this whole like how long would it take a single chicken to eat Andre the Giant if conditions were ideal, and I'm still trying to work on that.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
hoping Buster will fall asleep on my
a
face
long
and
time.
strangle me.
It's an interesting intellectual question.
How long
sure.
will the chicken take to eat?
Well, because
Well, you know what?
they peck a little bit at a time.
All right, how about this?
So
All right,
Well,
how about this? All right.
I mean, I know this from experience because I've got 30 of them in my the backyard.
fair enough. How long would it take them to eat Andre the Giant then?
All right.
All of them, they
right.
kind of go they kind of nibble until they're full, and then they come back, and then they're full, and they go out and we'll walk around, they poop, and then they'll come back. I'd say within a couple days.
If you-
Okay, now if you take that that is a given, then how long would it take a single one if like conditions were ideal, like they didn't have to worry about other scavengers or predators, they didn't
2
have to
weeks.
worry about
2
rotting or
weeks.
anything?
2
Seriously?
weeks. Maybe
Wait.
2 weeks.
That's a lot faster than I thought it would be.
Yeah, no, here you go. If you're buying a 50-pound bag of feed, it would feed your chicken for about 33 weeks. So less than a year. It takes them less than a year to eat a 50-pound bag. So let's go with.
So are we just talking like fat and muscle tissue, or are we also talking about the organs and the bones and what have you, the ligaments?
No, yeah,
They
because
won't be able to eat the bones. They definitely won't be able to eat the bones.
because they generally don't because chickens generally from my experience throwing out the scraps or whatever, they tend to stay away from the fat like on a steak or something. They will generally not eat that, but they'll eat the meat and then they will pick at the meat all day long.
So I'd say it would take about 6 months to eat me. Maybe a year to a year and a half to eat.
So considering that bone is a big part of your mass, and plus your body is the mostly water. So
yeah, I would even less, maybe 4 months to eat me and a year to eat shack.
Oh, interesting. This actually brings me to a topic. So I was having a conversation with my mother the other day on the phone, and she was mentioning that there's a radio show that she likes to listen to, and at one point they had a topic that she couldn't stomach because it's clearly a guy topic, but and I've talked to Kat about this a little bit backstage already. She's already got her answer. If you were to be killed by a wild animal, what wild animal would it be and how?
I don't traverse anywhere near wild animals.
It's a hypothetical.
Well, since I tend to stay landlocked, so it would be something more like a pack animal, like a wolf or maybe a bear.
Python.
No.
Oh, hell no.
No. No, thank you.
Yeah. I would say for me, it would have to be like a leopard or something, because they'll attack from behind. It'll be quick. I won't see it coming.
From up top. They attack from up. They'll hide in trees.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I'm pretty landlocked too, so most likely it'd be Luke Cassidy says great whitehead first. I'm a big fan of the movie Jaws. It's my favorite movie of all time, and I have always kind of thought that I might go out like Quint, but at the same time, because I don't spend any time on the ocean, for example, or even in the Mississippi with the bull sharks.
Fuck that.
I will most likely it'll most likely be a bear or a moose, but probably a bear.
Don't mess with moose.
I heard they're
if I get killed by a moose, it's not because I was messing with it. It's because moose are dicks.
Right. And generally, whenever a moose is nearby, there's probably not too far away is a Wolverine too.
Yeah, actually, funny story about that. So you know how Wolverines aren't supposed to be, for the most part, in the United States below a certain latitude in, like, say, Montana and Wisconsin and such? Yeah, that's bullshit. They are, in fact, much further south. They're rare and they're savvy, and they don't. I've fucking seen them though,
and they're nasty.
I saw one go all fucking Cape Fear on a dude's van.
Yeah, they are just chronically pissed off.
Yeah, and by Cape Fear, I mean the guy hit the thing, and it didn't roll underneath the van. It held on until the dude stopped, and it was understandably upset at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this was in sort of south central Wyoming, right? Where there aren't supposed to be anything like that because it's basically a dust bowl.
Right.
Right. So if they tell you that these things aren't out there, that like, oh, they're not officially, like the Wildlife Administration says that they're not out there, they are lying. Because they do come that far south. Terrifying animals. Not
Yes.
very big, all things considered. About
right.
the size of a medium-sized dog, honestly.
But a
and that's those,
bandsaw with legs. But a
Yeah.
bandsaw with legs.
pretty much. But yeah, that probably a bear. I always told myself if I ever got when I was younger anyway, if I ever got a terminal disease that was incurable, rather than wasting away, I was going to go pick a fight with a grizzly or a Kodiak.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Because I look at it
I
this
won't
way.
swat.
Either
I
I will
won't
go out
swat and you're
fighting
done.
like a man, or on the very, very low chance that I win that fight.
Very low.
That's a hell of a story to tell, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
It is
that
that.
would definitely be.
And I'm not saying I should go fight him with my fists or anything. It's not like I'd be unarmed, but
Yeah, I respect that. I like that.
So, hey, Gap After Dark, thank you for hanging out.
What's up, Gap?
Yeah.
So,
Well, I already said I was gonna have my cat die on my head and suffocate me.
All right.
And since cats are technically not domesticated
so
animals,
your cat is going to kill you after he's dead.
she's dead. Yes.
She's dead.
How dare you get her pronouns wrong? You misgendered her.
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah.
Sorry, I had to do that.
And odds are she doesn't either.
No.
No, she probably doesn't.
So, but yeah, so you're saying that you're going to be taken out by your cat's corpse.
Yes.
Wow.
Because why the hell not?
The only time I've been actually outside in nature and felt any fear whatsoever, I was in Cancun. I'm getting a tour of the Club Med out there, and they've got this ocean-fed lagoon where there's people water skiing in there. Corner of my left eye, I see something in the water move, and I look over there, and about 3 feet wide and about 7 feet long is a saltwater crocodile.
Oh, cool.
No, that's a dinosaur. And
yeah, dinosaurs are cool.
Well, I'm looking on my little pamphlet that tells me all the stuff that's available to me, and I tell my tour guide, I'm like, you know what? I don't see death roll listed here. And he said, well, she's more afraid of you than you are of her. And I'm like, no. And then he says, well, we keep her and the babies fed. And I'm like, it's a mom. So pretty much the only reptile with maternal instincts. No, thank you.
Well, turtles have them too, but yeah.
Nope.
So you wouldn't necessarily enjoy going to reptile gardens, for example, then? In
No.
Salt City.
No.
Because all that's separating you between the second largest saltwater crocodile in captivity on planet fucking Earth is a chain link fence.
Nope. Because
his head is as long as your body, by the way.
Oh, sweet.
Because if that
Dinosaur.
if that dinosaur wants to get to someone, there's nothing to stop it.
Oh yeah, no, I know. And does it help at all that his name is Maniac?
No.
No, that makes it even cooler. What you talking about?
No. Cat, you are odd. You are so odd.
You know, the largest in captivity is in Australia. I can't remember what his name is, but yeah, he's something like 22 feet.
Fuck that.
Something like that. Yeah, Maniac's like 19, 20 feet.
Yeah, no. Nope.
Yep. Big boy. Big boy.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're not wrong about the Mississippi River, like 150 miles up from the Gulf, the bull sharks haven't been spotted.
Whoa, cool.
No, that is not cool, Cat.
You know what though? Because it bothers you so much, you kind of give off that aura that, like, apex predators can smell. I imagine. So if I ever get into a situation out in the wild where I'm gonna like a tank or bait, I'm gonna make sure that you're there with me, because
I will be there. Nope, not gonna happen.
Because you're gonna draw all the aggro.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
To put it in RPG terms, you could be my tank.
Nope, not gonna happen. I will trip your ass.
Oh, I have a T-shirt. I
I
love
bet I
it.
can run
T-shirt.
faster
I-
scared than you can scared.
I don't know. I don't know, dude.
I have a T-shirt that says, "I will throw you in front of zombies to save my cat."
All right, Jess Marks. Take care, man.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it.
Zenny, you are definitely strange.
What do you mean?
Who wants to cuddle bull, great whites, tigers, mate? Why?
I don't
So-
want to cuddle them, but they're cool.
Makos, really?
No, that's a torpedo with eyes.
Right.
Cool.
No, she lists 3 of the man eaters,
Right.
but Makos are not considered the man eaters.
No, they're not.
I mean, they will, like
Right.
any shark will, but it's not like a thing with the species.
Right.
Like it is with bull sharks, for example, or notorious
tigers.
man eaters, tigers,
Whites.
hammerheads, and great whites.
Right.
Speaking of hammerheads,
Ooh, Chen Li, flamethrowers against zombies. Yes, totally with you on that. Do it.
I could see that.
Speaking of
Flamethrowers.
hammerheads, Anya Taylor-Joy is ridiculously hot.
Oh, well, I was thinking more of Halle Bailey.
That too.
And people will come at me for that joke, but the woman's got eyes that are 9 miles apart. I'm sorry.
What?
Halle Bailey, the new Little Mermaid, she's got eyes that are like
Oh,
too
yeah,
far
yeah.
apart on her head.
And she's
Yeah.
stacked.
Yeah, but that like that doesn't relate to the hammerhead
Well,
joke
Well, true, it doesn't, but
because
Her
sharks
eyes
don't
look
have
like-
air bladders. That's why they have to
Yeah,
swim
her eyes
constantly.
look like they can look at they're looking at 2 different time zones simultaneously.
all right,
Yeah,
Frank.
What happened to that?
Yeah, thank you, Frank,
Poor
for
woman.
for
You
hanging
know,
out. Appreciate it.
she gets.
Co-worker of mine.
What's this about? What's that? That's from earlier.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
Cat just hasn't removed it. So
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
The Brittany NT. Wow.
Be careful, Cat. Don't trip a wire.
Wow.
I mean, kinda, yeah,
Kinda.
She has wide set eyes too. Actually, not quite as wide, I think, as Halle Bailey's, but
No.
Wait, Bridget, that name sounds familiar. My brain is freezing on who that is.
she's a friend of Chrissy Mayer. She was the one who
Oh yeah, that's that woman. With the
Yeah.
whole thing with Twitter.
and
Mhm.
Twitter and Eliza Blue and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, she's an all right looking woman. I'm not a fan personally, but just what it is. She's got her fans. I'm not one of them. That's fine.
Yep.
I'm not one of them either.
I like some of the people that she's online with regularly. It's probably the only reason I know who she is. That undead chronic thing from like Jack Murphy,
Yeah, there's
Rick Hader, and all of that.
Right.
Yeah,
Chrissy, Anna, Melanie
yeah,
are all in that.
yeah. So there's it's funny. You go down, you'll encounter people on the internet that you may not necessarily be a fan of, but they'll be, in with people that you are fans of or friends with or whatever, and it's just like real life. I mean, gotta make it work somehow.
True story.
So look, and I don't hate the woman. I don't have a problem with the woman personally. I'm just not a fan of her stuff. I don't like her content very much.
Her shtick.
Yeah. So I don't know her, so I can't really say one way or to the other if the
Yeah,
persona
same.
that she presents is the same as in real life. I mean, for a lot of people on YouTube, like myself, for example, I mean, I got this whole Eldritch horror thing going. I am playing a character. Most of us
Right.
are, to a certain degree. I mean, I'm as
I
realistic.
wish I was, but unfortunately, I'm too honest for my own good. So you guys see what you see. is
It's
what
not
you get.
about dishonesty. It's about selling yourself.
Oh yeah, no, but even when it comes to selling myself, I wish that's probably why. Yeah, I'm not selling myself. I wish I could do that.
Mhm.
Sam,
The
are
only
you
difference
accusing
is-
me of selling myself?
If you were to meet
Yes,
me
you're a
in
whore,
person-
Larry.
Yes.
You're a whore.
Yes.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
You're the one that goes to bars every night and sells himself for free to women.
I get paid to.
No, not you, Samuel. You're
Oh.
smart enough to make sure you get paid. He's not.
Again, selling myself for free doesn't track. Like if
Your
I'm
knees
just-
are cut from jumping out of windows.
I have never had to do that once.
Yeah,
Likewise.
I
Never
think
had to.
the only difference you would find between me online and me in person is that initially I will be very shy and very nervous. Like
Suka,
you, like think when you give me super chats only the entire time.
yeah, Suka, yeah, venti is it comes from the numerical value of a large coffee.
Right.
Frankly, I think that's actually where she get it. That's not her actual last name.
Correct.
Kind of thing. And Clue,
She's
yeah,
a
I
coffee.
know. It's the real you, but we do present ourselves on YouTube. Most of us, like what you hear with me, rather, is what you get in real life. But in real life, I'm more reserved. I'm less talkative. Right. You know, there are differences. I am selling a character on here who is me, but a more exaggerated version of me. You know, and I think
Correct.
that's true of almost everybody who's in a public space like this, because, you know, we're doing a show here. You know, if I were just acting like myself, you guys didn't hear from me the entire time, because I'm not that talkative in a group. I'm really not. You know.
Correct.
So, yeah, it's just a thing. Like, Clue, I wasn't calling people an act. I'm just saying.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying.
And
You
I'm
know,
not acting.
you know damn
That's the
well what
funny
I'm
part.
saying. It's not.
I
wasn't
don't know what he's
insulting
saying.
anybody.
I feel
wasn't.
offended and insulted
I do
and
too. I
oppressed
want my
by the.
reparations.
Yeah,
Fuck
I
y'all,
want
you're all a bunch of
reparations
clowns.
as well. I feel oppressed by
What do you
the
have it
patriarchy
against
now.
clowns?
They're clowns. That's
Oh
what I
my
have against
God! Yes.
What are you saying? Clowns are jokes too? That he's
Yes.
just acting? You're saying
Oh my
JV doesn't
God.
have a heart, a voice?
I'm
Well,
saying he's clowns.
I have a voice. It's just hard to keep up with because it repeats itself.
See,
Look at what Lou is saying.
I know what she's saying, and she and I've had this discussion before. You see how she's laughing down here?
Mm-hmm.
Right? She's laughing because she knows what I'm talking about. You know? Stop fucking with my comments.
I don't know, Lou.
Clue knows what I'm saying too. He was giving me shit. So do you, Larry.
Yes, you each owe each of us $2 million. Which, by the way,
Yeah,
Egypt is
exactly.
apparently.
Well, good luck
Egypt is
collecting that.
apparently.
It takes a
Right.
village to tell the truth on this panel.
It's the second time you've made that pun.
No. Apparently, Egypt is suing Netflix for $2 billion. I hope they win.
For cultural appropriation and emotional damage.
Right, Chen Li. Right,
No.
that's exactly right. Because look, he's still Chen Li behind the counter of his pizza shop, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he's trying to sell pizza.
Right.
I'm not selling anything.
Me neither. I'm not selling anything. I just end up
Sure
getting
you are.
dragged into things. Though,
What the hell are you doing on YouTube?
Me?
I'm
already
enjoying
said-
my friends.
And me, I'm on YouTube because, as I said, I feel like I have a moral obligation to break the narrative because I love video games. So I don't like what they're doing.
That is to do what you're selling.
So I'm selling, but I'm basically like, I don't know. I'm not. I don't know. I'm not doing a very good job of it then because I'm not trying
Well,
to
you
sell
got
anything.
you got more subscribers. You got more subscribers than all three of us put together. So you're doing something right.
Apparently.
Wookie.
Though, did you hear? Apparently, and now I only saw one article about this, but I'm trying to find out more. Apparently, a bunch of people protested Zahi Hawass at a lecture in Los Angeles.
So what's that?
Zahi Hawass is the one of the most well-known Egyptian Egyptologists, and apparently they were protesting him because he would not accept Cleopatra as black. So, yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, the only reason I know I recognize the name is because you've brought it up to me personally.
Yeah, no. Well, see, look,
Like Egyptologists are not a field in which I fanboy a lot, so I don't really.
Oh
know
my
their
God! Now he's oppressing me over my Egyptian heritage. Did you guys hear this?
I heard it.
Hear what?
The oppression and the disdain from my Egyptian heritage.
Yep, I heard it. The dismissal of your heritage.
I was
Wow.
dismissing an entire profession about your heritage. Thank you very much. Let's be clear about that.
Yeah, but they study oh my God. Wow.
Y'all want to know how I feel right about now? I knew I would find a good use for that.
There we go.
That's good. That was good.
It takes a zillage to tell you
A
how
what?
much you owe us.
A what?
Yeah, Dempsey. Yeah, we're trying, we're trying. But it's it is what it is. And we each do it in our own ways.
Right.
Honestly,
Cat, for example, is wonderful and she is awesome and all of that, but she is also less than careful when it comes to wiring.
I mean,
So
I live
this
on the edge. Okay,
Yeah.
remember what we talked about like pushing the button? Yeah, it's my figurative
Dear
button
God in
push.
heaven.
That's,
You forgot
by
the
the way,
lithium-ion batteries, Cat, and the loose wires.
There
right.
are no batteries next
That
to
that by the way, for those of you who are not familiar, is a photograph of her actual setup.
Mhm.
Yep.
It is literally a power strip with cables coming out of it. I don't see how that's dangerous. It's literally just
You don't see how it's dangerous?
no, because if I can understand if I was stringing multiple power strips, that you don't do. But this is how if you're going to use it, that's how it's going to look.
Yeah, I'm
You
sure
see that
Russian
for-
scientists would said the same thing you just said
You-
just
you-
before
you have-
Chernobyl.
You have even if you put this like it's not on the floor, it's not at risk of anything. It's just I plugged in a single plug into each one. What else am I going to do with it? I mean, that's what I
Cat,
don't get.
you do realize that I live close enough to you to see the mushroom cloud that will emanate from your house after you explode. If you
Mhm.
don't do something about that setup.
No, I mean, I don't understand. What am I supposed to do different about the setup? I literally have one plug in each spot. That's it. It's not like
Is it powerful enough to sustain like a what is that JV when you have a power outage?
Mhm.
Or a surge.
Yeah, if
surge,
you have a
right.
surge, Lord help
it
you.
is a surge. Yeah, it does. It is surge protected.
Well, I tell you, I hope so because if it's
Yeah.
not, trust me, you and that fake Cleopatra are gonna look a lot alike.
And this, folks, is how you deflect.
Oh, we
It
haven't
is a
lost
surge.
sight.
Yeah, no, it has a surge protector on it. It's a rocket fish.
It takes a zillage to worry about you.
A what?
A zillage. It takes a
Stop,
zillage to worry.
stop fucking with my chat. Seriously, I will boot you out. I had something up. I was showing.
I mean,
Luke
I
Castle
get
says,
it. I know where it's like where you have multiple like multi thingies connected, but I literally have one
Thingies?
plug per spot,
That a
and it's
technical term?
designed for that. The multi plug things. I can't even know what they're called. Where it's like three, and you put it in one spot turns into three.
yeah, don't use those.
No, I don't use those. I literally have. This is designed for 8 plugs, and it doesn't even. And I'm not even using every single one. And each one of them is just plugged in straight, neat. There's nothing around it. It's sitting on my desk because that way it's not on the floor or anything. There's no way it's going to get wet. If it were on the floor, it sometimes floods. So it's literally that. It is just.
But you've got cat hair floating around.
So I'm not supposed to plug anything in because I have cat hair floating around.
Not if you don't want it going into the surge protector.
No, but then what am I going to plug my computer into?
Something that won't explode.
It's not going to explode. It has a surge protector on it.
But how much will it protect you
Okay.
from?
And how many how many Red Bull cans are in the
None.
in
The
the
Red Bull can is here. The
vicinity?
power thing is over here. Even
Okay,
if
and if it
spills,
spills,
it's not going to
what?
hit the. It's not going to hit the surge protector.
Sure it will.
The cat
No, it
hair will
won't.
insulate it, right?
Hmm.
I mean, I'm not digging on you, kid. I don't want
No,
anything to happen to you.
I don't understand. What am I supposed to do differently? I literally have one plug in each spot. I mean, at one point, yeah, several years back, I wasn't as careful, but now I know to be careful. So I have literally. It's designed
Lou.
for that many plugs in it. That's
You know
what
what?
it's built for.
A buddy of mine is really good with computers and surgeons and stuff like that. So I'll talk to him because he has to get two. Because he built an $8,000 PC that's so powerful that if his thing goes out, it will explode and take the house with it. He had to get
Dempsey.
two.
Dempsey's dead on right here, by the way.
Oh, there's okay. Because I'm like,
She ain't
I'm
got
like,
no
what?
balls.
I'm like,
We
because I'm like, what am I supposed to do differently? I literally like I said, I know, for example, not to have to have multiple power strips plugged into each other, for example. That I don't have. This is plugged straight into the wall. I have another one that's also plugged straight into the wall. I have one plug in each spot. I'm not doing like doubling and tripling. It's one plug in each spot. They're like zip tied. There's nothing near them.
You're right, Zinni.
I have it. Have it. Yeah, but then what you're saying is anyone who owns a cat can't plug in anything.
No.
Ah.
What I'm saying is, I'm like, and I'm serious about this.
You're
I'm gonna
overthinking,
talk to my
Cat.
friend and ask him what kind of. There's a certain level of surge protector you need depending on how much stuff you're plugging in and how much power they draw.
And this one is
Well,
it has
if
like
if the
postal-
lightning is strong enough, it can just burn your house down
Yeah,
anyway.
if
Yeah,
anything,
well, I mean,
yeah. So it's not like
lightning is separate from that. I mean,
Generally speaking, when you get a surge, usually it's because lightning hit a transformer or something like that.
yeah.
You know, and so yeah, if it's strong enough, it blows through your local breaker box. It's not going to matter what you have plugged in anywhere. It's going to start a fire in your walls. And electrical fires are super fun because guess what? You can't put them out with
water.
Water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys set up safely too. I just want to make sure that what you have it plugged into is safe enough for all emergencies. But I don't think that you're irresponsible with what you're doing. So I want to be
And
very careful in saying that. I'm seriously not digging on you. I just want to make sure that nothing
and
happens
on
to you.
top of that, so I recently have decided, I didn't do this before, but I decided every time I leave for work now, I shut down both of them. I have two surge power strips. Every time I leave for work, I turn both of them off. So there's no power to them when I'm at work, just to be sure.
Yeah, no,
Because-
that's smart. Let's just hope that Buster isn't playing Warframe while you're at work, putting cat hair
Buster?
all over your controller.
Actually, one time I was leaving for work, and all of a sudden I was about to leave for work, and all of a sudden the PS4 turned on, and it turns out Her Majesty was sitting on the controller.
I knew it.
Yeah,
She's
so if
trying
you
to kill you.
yeah, I also have if like the fuse box, like for example, one of the problems, for example, is like we have a heater in the other room, and I have a small heater. And if I turn on if both heaters are turned on at the same time, which the one in the other room is big, it will trip the circuit breaker. So it's like you can't have both on. So yeah, the circuit breaker will if there's too much. So I know the limit on how much.
Sure. But it is what I guess what I was saying is like obviously the circuit breakers are there to protect your house from overloading the circuits and all that stuff, and and they are effective at that to a point. If you get a large enough surge through it, it will blow the box itself.
Yeah, and it's
which
not
is you don't want to be standing anywhere near that when that happens.
Yeah, no.
You know, trust me as somebody who apprenticed as an electrician and
I don't want to do that.
bunch
How
of
do you do
stuff
that?
up by accident.
How do you do that? Because you know what? I want a real job.
You just find somebody who's willing to take you on as an apprentice. I mean, it's not that difficult. Journeyman and master electricians obviously have to have certain criteria, but basically to be an electrical apprentice, you just got to get hired by an electrician.
Yeah, you can do it, Cat.
But generally, you have to join a union too.
It depends on the state. I didn't.
True.
I don't like unions. Everything I've heard about the writers' union makes me realize that I would suck in a union because I still keep going to work and to hell with what anybody else told me to do.
The worst jobs I ever had were union.
Well, the nice thing about getting an apprenticeship, if you do say a 2-3 year apprenticeship and you reach journeyman, which there's a process and there's a bunch of stuff you have to qualify for, but if you do that, once you have journeyman status, whatever your trade is, anywhere where that trade is applicable, you can find work. So you can literally go anywhere, say in the continental United States, where if you were a journeyman electrician, they were building stuff that required electricians and you could find work. Yes, some of it's union, some of it's not. That depends on the area, but there's always that work. You never lack for work.
Yeah, well, that's one of the reasons. It's also real work and not none of this spoiled nonsense. I mean, when the world falls apart, we're going to need people who actually know real jobs and not. I mean, Yeah, I work retail. It's technically a real job, but
Yeah.
no, they can't force me not to work. I'd be like, kiss my ass. I don't give a damn.
They can actually. If
Yes, they can.
If you join them, yes, they can.
Absolutely, they can, and they will.
Yeah. And that's why I agree with Dempsey on this. I don't like unions. I think unions are bullshit.
Likewise.
And they're outdated, and they're you know, they're a thing of the past that
They're a
needs to
money
go the way
grab,
of the
too.
past.
They have definitely outlived their usefulness.
Were they really that useful to begin with? I mean, it was mostly about mob people trying to grab onto other people's profits.
Yeah. Some
know?
were like longshoremen's union is really good. Electrician unions were really good. I'm not gonna say some names, but there's some locals that like I said, when I found out who was behind those locals, I was like, oh yeah, I need to go find another job because those guys they were useless. If something happened to you, you know, you got rolled up for no reason. I mean, good luck getting somebody out to represent you. But then somebody shows up on a military installation, drunk off their mind, gets fired, gets back in on a technicality, and $60,000 in cash handed to him and a promotion. And this fool's guilty.
Doesn't matter if he's protected by a union.
Yeah, and that's when I was done. I was like, you guys are trying to write me up for something that you yourselves has done and didn't tell me not to do, but this guy walks back. It didn't make any sense. It just didn't make any sense.
No, yeah, it's they protect their own insofar as it protects the union's profits.
Well, yeah, and unions do not. The unions are not there for the cream of the crop. They are there to protect the bottom.
To a degree. They're there to protect their bottom line, let's be honest. You know, if they can use the workers to do that, if they, you know, they'll
Correct.
stand up for the workers as long as it serves the overall union, as long as it serves the people at the top in the union. The second it doesn't, though, I ain't gonna back you.
Correct.
You know, the second that it costs the union more than it profits them, they will not back you. You know, in general, that has been my experience with unions. I think that they're just, it's fucking mob racketeering is all it is.
And they're good for the bankrupting states.
Mm-hmm. Like California. Just saying.
Yep.
WGA. But yeah. Now, so I wouldn't. If you're in an area, and I think that New Jersey is like heavily unionized, is it not?
I
Like
don't
a
know.
state. Yes. If you want to get into a trade profession, you might want to find somewhere that's right to work.
That's my state.
Oh, mine too. I mean, a lot of the states out west are, but
wait, the young Turk chick, would that happen to be Anna
Kasparian?
Yes, Anna Kasparian.
Oh,
yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
That's
Styx
sweet
is
summer- that's
Styx
sweet
is
summer
smarter
sun.
than she is, but she's better looking than Styx. So I mean,
True.
you know, it balances
True.
out, I guess.
True.
So I no offense, Styx, if you're watching, Anna Kasparian's got a better ass than you do.
True.
So yeah, a lot of you know, I mean, it just depends on where you are. There are some states where, like in a municipality, right, things will be very heavily unionized, but like in the state itself is an at-will state, and so the laws get a little bit tricky there. But you know, like I lived in Colorado for a long time. Colorado is technically a union state. It's technically a right to work state, but there are a lot of unions depending on which part of Colorado you're in. Like if you go up to any of the rich ski resort areas like Aspen or Breckenridge or any of that sort of thing, a lot of the work up there is unionized, but almost all of the area is owned by rich fucking assholes from Hollywood too. So whereas out on the plains where the farmers are and all that stuff, it's mostly directly right to work. And in a lot of the municipalities, it depends on the profession. If you work in a convenience store, you're probably not going to be union. But if you work for say like a plumbing company, you're probably going to be union. It depends on the thing. And most of the trades were union.
The public library was union. It was no help at all.
Mm-hmm. Well, the public library is government too, so.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree.
I agree.
We had some nasty. So,
yes.
I'm just gonna say the people who tried to get me canceled, who yelled at me and whined at me last week.
What was that about?
So, well, first of all, I just found their YouTube channel. They have 17 subscribers, and nobody watches their stuff. So last week I go on to a live stream. Like I said, I was doing a live stream with some guy who I was being nice. Honestly, near the end, I'm like, I was only on like 3 or 4 times. I didn't even realize I was a co-host. He never even said it. So like the week before, I didn't even show up because he waits until like 10:30 to be like, okay, I'm preparing the link. And it's like, dude, you don't talk to me all day Saturday, then all of a sudden a half an hour before. So at 10:30, I was like, oh, okay, it's not going on. And I fell asleep. Next week, I find out he canceled it because I didn't show up.
Mine too.
No, but the thing is, so this guy, so I go to the live stream and I'm like, before, the pre-stream private chat, right? That's not online. And I'm like, look, you guys, I don't think I could stick around. I haven't played Destiny 2 in a month. I think the story sucks. I'm not happy with the state of Destiny 2. And the guy with him starts asking me, because he says in his tweet that I came in ranting, why don't you like it? So I start telling him I think that, the relationship between Osiris and Saint 14 was stupid. It breaks canon. And he starts telling me he likes it and that he's black and gay. Dude. So then I multiple times said, I'm going to leave. All right. I'm out. I'm not playing Destiny 2. Clearly, this is not the place for me. Suddenly, he drops out of the live stream, which it wasn't live. Keep in mind, it wasn't live. It was pre-4. It was private. And posts a note on Twitter talking about how I'm a bigot and a homophobe. And it's like, dude, first of all, how did you write it that fast? Second of all, this was a private conversation. You're taking it out of context. I said I didn't like the story from Destiny 2. I didn't say anything against anyone who's gay. I said I didn't like the goddamn story from Destiny 2. So I turned to the guy who was supposedly I was supposed to be co-hosting this stream with. I'm like, what the hell, man? It was a private conversation. What is your friend doing? So he's like, I'll try to calm it down. And at one point, the guy retweets. So next morning, he retweets something that the other guy said and called me a bigot in. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought you said you're trying to de-escalate this. I don't care. They're like, oh, we don't want to associate with someone like you. I'm like, okay, fine. You're the ones who posted this publicly. I wasn't going to say anything about this. You're the ones who made this public. I was going to leave the live stream and say absolutely nothing. If you don't want to associate with me, stop associating with me. And so I was like 3 people came at me. One of them was, I swear, this is so stupid. Non-binary, calls herself Tower Mom. And she at one point, because in his like note, he said that I made fun of robosexual. Yes, I think if you call yourself, I said that Saint 14 and Osiris are robosexual because he likes a robot. So she's like, she's attacking me because I came out as a robosexual in last week's podcast. Honey, I've never even watched your stupid podcast. If you're a robosexual, you clearly have a relationship with your vibrator that's a little too close.
Wait. So what did she say? That like you're racist against nuts and bolts?
She calls him Bob.
Bab.
No, so that guy
battery
called me
operated
a
boyfriend.
racist. And the funny thing is, at one point he's like, "You're black." I'm like, "I'm an Arab." Where did you get? I'm an Arab.
I'm still stuck on this robosexual thing.
So at one point,
wait, so she's saying that you're racist against screws that she's using to screw herself with. So you're a bigot against screwdrivers and nuts and bolts and parts.
I don't know. All I did was I said that Osiris wasn't gay because he was attracted to Saint 14, who's an exo, which is a robot. So I'm like, he's a robosexual. So apparently he posted something, or I said it was derogatory, calling a robosexual. And that he didn't like my references to soy boy, which, dude, I call straight people and homosexual people soy boy. Don't make a difference to me. Get over yourself. Then when he also said that apparently I called him an exception because I'm like, nearly everybody I came across thought the Destiny 2 story sucked. He's like, you called me an exception. Yeah, to all the people I know, you're an exception. Being an exception isn't an insult. So his buddy Tower Mom, non-binary land whale, yes, honey, if she's listening, which I doubt it, non-binary land whale, calls herself Tower Mom, gets butthurt with me because I said something bad about robosexual, and that she apparently in the previous podcast, which is called Cosmodrome Radio, came out as a robosexual. I didn't want to escalate it because honestly, these people aren't worth my time. Didn't say anything, but I was gonna be like, honey, you've got too close of a relationship with your vibrator. She then tells me that I'm afraid of being blacklisted by her. So I was like, you know what? No. But just to I'm gonna take the initiative and block you. So now, just out of curiosity, I looked up their podcast, Cosmodrome Radio. They've got 17 subscribers, and most of their videos have not a single view, or one view, or two. And while I don't want to sound arrogant or anything, yeah, I'm really scared. Look, I'm really scared about being blacklisted by a bunch of people who they didn't even hear the conversation. That's the funny thing. It's like it was the private pre-recorded conversation. So it's like, so because this dude said I'm a bigot and a homophobe, you're all attacking me. And at one point I'm like, lady, you're attacking me. And I'm like, I'm going to play the card. I'm like, you're attacking me, a Muslim woman. She's like, I didn't attack you. I'm like, I screenshot one of her comments, which says she called me a bigot and I'm like, what do you call that? And it's like, what the hell? And he's like, she has anti-woke and anti-SJW in her bio on Twitter. Yes, you want to know why? So I can avoid people like you. So that people like you don't talk to me. Because you know what you're dealing with. Dude. It was so stupid. It's a relief. Honestly, I was planning on quitting. I didn't realize I was this guy's co-host. He never even said I was a co-host. So I was planning on quitting because I got so sick of Destiny 2. But then when you have this... I'm sorry, this guy just I was talking with Mugsykins. She's like, the guy clearly just wanted to be a victim, came in it with a chip on his shoulder, knew who I was, knew my stances, because he had a statement prepared, practically. So yeah. I was like, yeah, I'm like, you're attacking me because I'm a Muslim woman. Oh, no, you're attacking me, a Muslim woman. So she's like, no, I'm not. So I'm like, look, she's like, you're afraid of being blacklisted. I'm like, no, I'm not afraid of being blacklisted by you. You don't think I don't have enough people to play Destiny 2 without a bunch of whiny-ass babies and non-binary land whales? I don't know.
Fuck them. You don't need them.
No, I didn't. No, I was just out of pure curiosity. I'm like, okay, what is the heck? Because I'm pretty sure they're going to be whining about me this week on their whatever. So I just out of curiosity, I looked it up and I'm like, oh, wow. Like, I got something to really be worried about.
Hey, Kat, I have a question.
Yeah.
So when you play Destiny 2, your character, you use mostly rifles, or does your character use pistols?
I don't really use a lot of the pistols or sidearms. I do use hand cannons, which are pretty hefty pistols, but
okay,
auto rifles.
So I understand their point. Because you use hand cannons, that's cultural appropriation.
Because she likes to get off on shoving it up her. What's
yes.
it called?
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
You are appropriating her bob.
I'm appropriating her sex toy.
Yes.
Her boyfriend, her robot boyfriend.
Yes.
I personally just think that you got engaged with folks who have way too much time out.
Oh, definitely. So that's why.
But Kat, you perpetuate it by continuing to engage them.
No, I didn't. That's the thing. I'm just saying, multiple people came at me, and every single one of them, I said, "Look, I'm not going to continue this. This was a private conversation."
Why even engage in the first place?
Initially, I said that. I said I was not going to engage it. Then finally, it was not long. It was not long at all. It's like 3 people coming at me. And in fact, one guy, I didn't tell her anything about that she had a thing with her vibrator. I just said, she's like, you want to be black? You're afraid you're going to be blacklisted. I was like, you know what? No. And don't worry, I'll take the first step. And I blocked her. Another one of them came at me a couple days later, acting like, oh my God, these kids are stupid. He's like, it says you respect freedom of speech. Well, that means you have to respect preferred pronouns, and Nimbus's pronouns need to be respected. And it's like, I didn't
That's
even
stupid.
respond. I'm like, dude, first of all, you don't understand freedom of speech, and second of all, Nimbus isn't real.
And also, what this idiot just said, that's not freedom of speech. That's saying that you don't have freedom of speech, that you have to do something.
But I didn't even respond to him. Most of the people I didn't even respond to. And finally, I blocked all of them because, you know what? It's not worth my time. To me, I've changed my view on blocking. My view on blocking is you have nothing worthy of my time to say. So I'm not even going to bother. I'm just going to block you because that's my way of saying you are so insignificant to me that you have nothing. You're not worth my time.
Well, now, maybe it's because when I saw it, I think I was at work when I saw it, because when I caught wind of it, I actually went on your Twitter to go to battle with them. And I was like, okay, where's, and I had to get back to work, and I was like, where's the comments at? I went in there to redirect them to me.
One guy actually came to my defense, which was one of their followers, not mine, where he said, I wasn't there, I'm not going to make a judgment. And so as I said, that's why I immediately was trying to cut it down quickly, because I'm not going to waste my time with these people. They're not worth my time. They're stupid. I mean, come on. She calls herself a non-binary tower mom and a land whale. And I hate to say this, Destiny 2 isn't the game it used to be. So if you're proud of yourself for playing Destiny 2, good on you, Habibti, but you suck. Game's so baby-ass easy, good on you. Probably have somebody making builds for you and carrying you through half the shit because you're such a.
I mean,
yeah.
You're not wrong, most likely.
Not wasting any time on them.
No, because look, one of the things I've learned is me and Muggsykins, people. I know someone else like Muggsykins. There are a handful of women like me and Muggsykins who love playing video games, go for it hardcore, go for the hard stuff. All right, aren't gonna. But when you have somebody who's so caught up in the Destiny 2 story because, oh my God, they're non-binary, that tells me you're not playing Destiny 2 because you're good at the game, or you want to try and get good, or you're trying to get good, or you're trying to do the hard content. It tells me that all you care about is, oh my God, non-binary, somebody's gonna carry me through it because I'm a lazy ass bitch woman who doesn't play video games for the game. I play it for the stupid story. And call yourself a non-binary non-binary tower mom, good on you. It's your way of getting attention. No, there's very few female gamers I have any respect for, because most of them are just, yeah. Sorry about that.
No, fair enough. There's very few female
Clue,
gamers I have respect for because I'm a bigot.
No, well, Clue, I mean, when it comes down to it, these people, all right, they call themselves gamers, right? It's not that they care about video games, all right? Who plays Destiny 2 because there's a non-binary character? You're a loser, because that's not why you play a freaking video game. It's like the discussion me and Muggsykins had earlier. Where it's like, oh my God, you added a gay, where it's like, okay, you're going to put somebody gay in your ad. Do you really think gay people are that stupid? Most gay people aren't going to be like, oh my God, you added a gay person, I'm going to now buy your product. No. I don't drink Monster, okay, I drink Red Bull. You put a Muslim in your ad for Monster, I'm not going to buy Monster. I don't care for Monster. So if you are one of those weak-minded, pathetic losers who only plays a video game because, oh my God, non-binary like me, then that's what you are. You're pathetic. You have no sense of self-worth. You play a video game because you need to be affirmed by a freaking video game. You're sad. Very...
I play video games because they're fun.
Yes, but they don't. They play them because, oh my God, non-binary makes me feel so affirmed.
I don't play with them because they're stupid.
Oh, I mean, that's a personal opinion. I mean, there are those who say that
right,
a lot of stuff that you were interested in is too. And the fact is, like I'm the bridge, I'm the crossover. There's a lot of stuff you like. There's a lot of stuff Kat likes, and I like both of those things. Yeah. So, like, it's just that's a personal preference thing. But
yeah, I had a roommate who was a gamer, and this was years ago when the newest Grand Theft Auto came out, and I had to go to work. He came home. I come home after 10 hours. He's sitting in the exact same place. Hasn't changed his clothes. Hey, multifaceted. And then I also saw, and then so I went to sleep. I woke up. He's in the exact same spot,
Oh, I
wearing the
couldn't do
exact
that.
same clothes.
And,
And then I went to work,
oh,
and I come home. He's sitting in the exact same spot, wearing the exact same clothes.
oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
No, I mean, then I can understand why you don't like it. No. The most I'll play is during the weekends when I'm live streaming, because I'm live streaming.
I'll
But
be,
in
I'll
ge-
be, yeah, I'll be honest. That sounds like that dude had a problem,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't say that's indicative of everybody. But yeah,
No.
that it does happen because, like any other drug, it can be very addictive and detrimental. Yes, I get that. But I mean, honestly, you could have swapped out his game system with heroin, and he'd be doing the exact same
Yeah.
thing.
Right.
You know. So whereas some of us just dip in once in a while, and we have our fun, and we move the fuck on with our lives.
Yeah. No,
Just
I
take
mean,
a
I
bump
was
every now and then.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
mean,
no
like
problem.
sometimes I'll play an hour or two after work, not every day even. I'll play maybe an hour or two after work because I have a full-time job and I come home from work and I'm exhausted. And you know what? My job is my priority. So,
Right
I
on.
want to make sure I get enough sleep. I want to make sure, I don't smell disgusting, so I take a shower.
Well, you also understand the basic principle, like drugs. Video games cost money. In order to make money, you have to go make money. So work would be the priority in this case.
Correct.
Yeah, but the thing is also work. You know what? Like a friend of mine was like, if they paid you to play video games, would you take it? No, because I want to
What
contribute
the
to
hell?
society. Sitting on my ass playing video games, getting paid to do it. Yeah, that sounds sweet. But you know what? I work in a store. I still contribute to the economy. I'd rather do that. I'd rather do something than just sit around and play video games.
No,
And I
that's
get
fine.
it. To some people, it's entertainment. I get it. I get all that. But to me, it's not fulfilling.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. If I get paid to watch films and TV shows, I would quit my job tomorrow.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I
I
wouldn't.
mean it's to each their own, really. But in that terms, like yes, I will say this: moderation is key in everything
Hmm.
that you do. Everything,
Correct.
Yeah.
it's key in what you eat, how you dress. The hours that you keep. It's key, obviously, in your hobbies, especially in your hobbies and your vices. Because those are the first things that'll destroy you. But anything that you overdo, like you can work yourself to death.
Hey, I love it.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Hey, love it. We're not too shabby today. And also real quick, I wanted to address this. I'm assuming Zillage, you were talking about me. It wasn't really my
What
Hank
the
Hill voice.
Can I just
Damn
say
it, damn it, damn it. Well,
Can I
that
just
boy
say
ain't
thank
right.
you to Larry because I appreciate that. Thank you for the fact that you were willing to go in and say something. I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, I just wish I had more time to really scroll through because when I saw that I was heated. I even called Samuel and he was like, "What's up?" And I was like, "I'm about to go in there and blast the hell out of whoever."
Hey, Roman.
Yes, Stu, I would because I don't want that. That's not what I don't want to do that.
Roman, I love you.
I've already said the reason I make content is because I feel an obligation to break the narratives and because I'm a big fan of video games. So when someone says, "Oh, you don't like the Halo TV series because it's like, no, I'm a woman and a minority. What are you gonna do?"
Hey, Muggsy.
Mugsy's back.
Well, you know what they'll do? They'll do what Joy Behar did to Senator Tim Scott. He doesn't understand racism because he's a Republican.
Yeah,
Wow.
but
So you know what he said? I'll see you Monday on The View. Say it to my face.
nice. But then it's like what they said about Larry Elder, who I really liked Larry Elder. He's awesome.
Yeah, he'll tell you about Relief Factor.
But on the other hand, you know what? I'll tell you this. How much fun do you think I had after 9/11 dressed like this?
None. And I don't know many that did.
So, yeah, don't tell me I don't know. And it usually it does they tend to
Yeah, he should have been. He should have been. He should have been governor. Funny how the racism
Yes.
came out against him.
Yeah. And they did nothing about it. They actually supported it, probably. They were like, yeah, good. No, I really liked him. He should have been governor. I can't believe that greasy hair, disgusting.
Okay.
Oh, you know he's
Okay.
you know he's
Okay.
gonna run
Okay.
for president, right?
So. Okay.
Wait, oh God, no.
Not this time around, but
Can I ask?
he'll get to it.
Can I ask a quick
Sure.
question? Because for me, I live in the state right next to California. I could probably guess the answer for Sam, but Kat, you got just in that statement, you got really worked up that Larry Elder didn't win governor of California.
Because he's a good
Why
guy.
do you care? Why do you
I
care?
just care because I think he's a good guy. I think he would.
It doesn't affect you, though.
It doesn't affect me. No,
disagree.
it doesn't.
Really? How so, Sam?
I disagree because historically speaking, what happens in California, the rest of the country follows suit.
Yeah.
You know, what happens in California affects the rest of the country eventually down the
Bye,
line.
pudding.
And the more left and commie that it's gotten, the rest of the country in degrees has followed. Yes, there's pockets of resistance, but you know, California has always exerted an inordinate influence, not just on politics in this country, but in culture. You know,
Who you
and
telling me
that's
I grew up in California?
yeah.
So did I.
So I know exactly how they're in a bubble.
Mhm.
They're in
Right,
a bubble.
and
And you know
what you said, that makes sense, Sam.
On top of that, you know what? You want good leaders in this country, and Larry Elder's a good guy. You know what? From what I've heard about him, and what I've heard him say, he seems like a good guy, a good person to be a governor of a state. Yeah, it doesn't directly affect me as much, but it would still be nice to see someone like him as governor of California. In addition, in some ways, I mean, what happened to that law where, you know, the poor father in Texas can't get his son from becoming his daughter because of the laws in California. If Larry Elder had been elected, that would not have been a problem. That poor father.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, my issue, and also, like, how many times has a governor from California or a statesman from California achieved high office in this country, in, like, say, Washington, in the federal government?
Reagan.
It's
Yeah.
happened. Reagan's one example. I mean, but it's happened numerous times.
Nancy
Newsom,
Mm.
Newsom has been bad for California. Let's
Oh,
brass
Of
tacks.
course,
He's been
yeah,
bad
we
for
all know
California, and by
Jerry
extension,
Brown
the
was
rest
bad.
of the country.
Yep.
Jerry Brown was bad effort.
Yeah,
Newsom is planning on sitting in the Oval Office at some point in his career.
we all know that, but he's gonna
Right.
fail. Just
But
like
I don't know that he is, man, but I hope he does.
he will. Just like homeboy in Texas that keeps running for governor, thinking
No,
that he's
Beto
gonna
doesn't
win.
have half the fucking charisma. Doesn't come anywhere near Newsom's
And
level
plus-
of
and-
ability
okay,
to play the politics game. He just
and-
doesn't compare.
And I get what Sam is saying, because Gavin looks stately. He can.
Yeah, but
Yes,
so
he
does
knows how to
Satan.
play. He knows how to play the crowd. I
Satan
mean,
looks stately too.
yeah, and he'll get all the bitches to vote for him too.
Yeah, well, if you're a woman and you're pathetic enough to vote on a guy because he looks good, you don't deserve to vote. I mean, come on, that's just come on. You got to be kidding. I have no respect. No. But the
Well-
other thing is his policies affect other states. I'm betting you, because some of the stuff
His
that Phil
policies
Murphy.
do not
Yeah, they do.
affect me.
Phil Murphy's doing his stuff. Phil
Okay,
Murphy.
They're
Gavin
they're
Newsom-
copying each other, but he has
Yes.
no say over
Okay.
what other states do.
yeah,
But
Gavin
they're
Newsom
copying
has,
him.
okay,
They're
Gavin
copying him.
Newsom has the only time that Newsom had any influence was because the governor of my state during the lockdowns, yes, he did copycat what Newsom did, but Newsom doesn't pass a law in his state and it affects my state. No, that is just
Not your state, but I'm telling you, Phil Murphy has been passing laws based on California. We just had the law about don't take kids out, the trans kid law. It's in New Jersey. it's a safe state for trans kids. It's in New Jersey. Where do you think
the liberal states copy each other.
Yes, Phil Murphy is copying
Yeah,
Gavin Newsom.
That I guess that's my issue is that
And it's not the
because
first
what
one.
happens in California eventually bleeds over to the other liberal states, and if they have
Yeah.
their way
but they'll
in
do it too.
Washington,
I mean,
they will force it on everyone else.
But I mean, California also copies New York and whoever else. It's like they just all work in
Chicago.
tandem with each other. Yeah, they just all work in tandem with each other. It's just in California, it's a arrogance. That's why I say they live in a bubble because they are told to believe that California runs the entire country when in fact they don't. It's not just certain states. They're like, oh, we run the entire country and what we say goes this, this, and this. Meanwhile, majority of the country is looking at them like, what a bunch of dummies.
Which
We
is
also
why
have
which is why states should adopt their own electoral college.
Yep.
No, but I mean, our taxes in New Jersey, we have one of the highest taxes. They are copying a lot of stuff from California. New Jersey is copying, which is why, God, I wish Jack Ciattarelli had won. He lost by less than 1%. And there's, what's his name? Project Veritas, when it was actually Project Veritas, actually released a video where some guy who wasn't a citizen was voting in the government election of New Jersey.
That's what happened in California.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, Suka makes a point. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. What happens in California spreads like cancer.
That's like cancer. Yep.
Nice. That makes absolute sense. Though.
And and that's the thing. I think somebody else made that point. Yeah, Zenny. The problem isn't so much like if it were to stay in California, it would be one thing, right? But the people who vote this shit in, who vote the people in, who enact these policies in, then move out to other states, and proceed to fuck it up there.
We get, because that happens a lot in my state and in my area, and I mean, even though I was born in California and I spent my youth in Southern California, I've been out here for 15 years. We hate it when, especially SoCal folks.
So do we.
Right.
Up in Wyoming, we watched what happened to Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Colorado might as well be fucking California at this point. And it's like, I'm in Wyoming. There are two places on our map. If you were to do like the red blue map for the state of Wyoming, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are two places that would show up bright fucking blue, but only two.
Mm-hmm.
Albany County, where Laramie is, where the University of Wyoming is, and it's also our highest, our most densely LGBT population,
right.
And Jackson Hole, Jackson County, that is where most of your Hollywood, California rich asshats live. Also, the Cheneys,
right.
But
which might as well be blue.
Everywhere else is red as fuck, but they don't have the population centers to back it up. We don't have that many people here. If too many people from California come in, there are more people in like smaller cities in California than there are in my entire fucking state.
Right. I mean, my state alone, we've got 3.2 million people in my state. 2.3 are in Clark County,
right.
Where I'm at.
Yeah.
So there's Clark County, and then there's Reno, the way up north. Hey, George, and a whole lot of nothing in between.
Right. And that's kind of my point. Like there's less than 500,000 people in the entire state of Wyoming.
Oh,
there are medium and small sized towns in California that have more fucking people than that.
Mm-hmm.
If just one of those towns, say for example, was chock full of blue voters, and they just decided en masse to move their town to fucking Wyoming, it would completely fuck the dynamics of this state. The whole state just fucked because of that. And if that happens. I mean, obviously, I know that in the National Electoral College, Wyoming doesn't count for much. We get exactly one vote because we have low population, and we almost didn't get that historically.
Well, you get 3 because you get your congressman and then your 2 senators.
Yeah, but it's in the Electoral College we get 1 because it's based on population. You know, and that was a bear thing, and we almost didn't get that. You know, when they set up the states in the Electoral College.
You and DeMonte, Anna, huh?
Yep, and the Dakotas.
Hmm.
I think South Dakota might get 2, but North Dakota's just about as barren as we are and colder.
Ooh, burn. No, thank you.
You ever see Fargo?
No, a long time ago.
Yeah, but you remember how it looked like everything was flat and white?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the whole fucking state looks like that.
Mm.
You know, except the Badlands, then it's a little different.
Sounds like Nebraska.
Yeah, but no corn.
Oh, okay.
So it's just anyway, North Dakota sucks, but it sucks for reasons other than political. It sucks because it's cold and it's barren and there's a lot of wind.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. Said no one ever.
Yeah, not fun. I like Wyoming. I live in Wyoming. It's not terrible here for the most part. Most people who come here, they have we don't ask a lot of questions about people's past, you know, and we expect the same in return. People get along just fine here, you know, and it's not bad. In a lot of ways, it's not bad. It's got its issues. I do bitch about it. Most of it has to do with climate and weather, and you know, the occasional bit of wildlife trying to eat my face.
Okay, then no, for me, no.
Yeah, it you know, it is what it is. But we also we can conceal carry without a permit.
Oh, now you're winning me over.
Oh, there we go. There goes Cat. I want to shoot things.
Yes.
I want to shoot things. I want to kill things.
It ain't necessarily about shooting and killing things, man. It's about having the option to do it.
Yes.
I get
and
it.
not having to ask the government for fucking permission to have the option to do it. The euphemism, like concealed carry for that? No, it's not a euphemism. It's a real thing. If that's what you're referring to. We can conceal carry our firearms without a permit in Wyoming.
Gotcha.
I am so jealous.
You don't have to have a permit to own them. You don't have to have a permit to carry them, and you certainly don't have to have a permit to carry them concealed about your person. You know, you do have to take classes to teach you how to shoot if you don't know how to shoot, but that is a safety thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I would want to take a class because I've only shot once, and it was the greatest experience ever.
Yeah. You know, and there are a couple of other things about Wyoming that are like, for instance, our state government has in fact a plan in place. Should the states break up for whatever reason, should we an end come to the union, a national divorce, whatever form that takes, we have economic and border control plans in place to secure Wyoming.
Okay, then I'll move there.
You know, we have a currency just in case we need one.
Nice.
You know, I mean, it's not like out in the public, but we are prepared just in case something like that goes down, so that Wyoming can act as a sovereign, independent nation.
Nice.
If the need arises, you know, there are benefits to being here. There really are. I mean, we aren't quite. You know, like all you hear these days about the freest states is like, oh, it's Florida, that's Texas. It's like, you know, they just say that because nobody fucking likes the weather in Wyoming.
Well,
yeah.
Do you blame them?
Well, no, because the weather here sucks. I will say that. It does. It's been raining for 2 fucking weeks, and before that,
oh hell no! No.
So South Dakota does have Governor Nome, but South Dakota also has a bunch of other politicians arrayed against her. So there's that. You know, it's mostly a free state though, for the most part. But yeah. So no, I'm not. Oh, the wildlife? No, that's literal too. That was not a euphemism. We have bears, cougars, wolves, what have you. The fluffy cows won't try to eat your face, but they will mash it into paste. You know, so there's that too.
Hey, and Roman is saying at some point, Sam, to invite him on.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely will. We'll throw you a link at some point in the future here. Every Saturday, same time.
Great guy. Great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think he knows Nomi too, doesn't he?
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he will.
Yeah. He came to the Vegas meetup.
Nice. It's always good to connect.
Yep.
It's a good thing. Yeah, they're not funny Highland cows. They're fluffy cows, and don't mess with the fluffy cows. They will kill you and your entire family.
What's a fluffy cow?
Bison.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't pet the fluffy cows. Don't feed
No.
the fluffy cows. Do not come within a couple of feet of their babies. Just leave the
Well,
fluffy
yeah.
cows alone.
I went to a Yellowstone National Park, and I'd heard about the buffalo and folks taking pictures of the buffalo. As we're entering the park, they give you this little yellow flyer. It says, "Warning: guests have been known to be gored by buffalo." And I'm like, why? Why am I here?
Cool.
Yep. That would have been my cue to turn around, get in the car, and leave.
Well, yeah, and then so we were riding along, and luckily it was during the daytime because they said, it's best to do this during the day because when you at night the bears and wolves come out. I'm like, okay, check, red flag again. We saw like this big clearing area, and there were some elk out there in the field just eating whatever. And so someone took the camera, adjusted the lens, click. All of a sudden, an 11-point buck just raises its head, and
that was fun.
And I'm like, nope, I'm getting back in the van. Because I'm sorry, my insurance policy does not cover being gored.
Yeah, that is always fun. I had that happen to me in the middle of the town in Colorado once. I mean, and by a town I mean like a city. It was Fort Collins. In case y'all are wondering, it's a medium-sized city in Wyoming or in Colorado. Mm-hmm. And I was walking, and there's this patch of grass in between the developed blocks and all that stuff. And I'm walking. I got my headphones on. I was going to work, going through this little field here, and I hear this noise in front of me. It sounded kind of like I wasn't sure what it was. And I looked up, and there's a doe. There's a doe standing in front of me, and I was just like, huh. That's okay. Well, I'll just stay here until she decides to move because, I don't want to disturb her or whatever. And then I hear this grunt and a pawing sound from my immediate right.
Oh,
and I looked over, and there was her mate lowering his 7 points at me.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, I'm just going to turn around and go the other way.
Yeah.
Which I did.
Yep.
This is in the middle of a metropolitan area, by the way. It does happen in the flyover states, as it were. So,
I like the flyover states.
I
think they feel more America.
Hey, JV, I think Dempsey's in your chat, right?
Dempsey, yeah. Well,
okay. He's asking for Larry's channel link, so I can post it on StreamYards, but I don't know if it'll end up over there or not.
Just pop it in the private in the private chat then.
Okay. It is in the private chat if you want to drop that over there for him.
Got it.
So yeah, there we go. And yeah, that's the actual. Yes, there's a lot of Lawrence Knights on YouTube, and a lot of them are famous musicians.
Yep. I didn't know that until after. I was like, well.
Yeah. No, the first time I tried to find he's my friend, and the first time I tried to find his channel, I went through like 50 of them before I finally figured it out. So,
do national parks get some form of government funding? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're national parks.
Yeah, they are in fact owned and operated by the land is owned by the federal government.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they protect them. I don't know how it works in India, but yeah, all of it is funded through taxes.
Thanks.
Most of my state is that.
Yeah,
most of my state is that.
A good portion of mine is. This so the National Parks Program was started by Teddy Roosevelt back in the day as a way to ostensibly, quote unquote, preserve natural areas, but what it was to preserve land for the U.S. government.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So they can
they own most of the land in the country.
Then they can later sell it, do whatever they want with it. It's theirs. Yeah.
Oh, hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hey, Grant Gregory, how's it going? He's a fun guy.
Hey, does Dempsey have a channel?
I believe he does actually.
Okay, let me look it up. Doop, 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 doop.
So, yeah. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, we do this show every Saturday afternoon, my time, which is, it's like evening for Kat, and Larry.
Yeah.
Rotating cast of characters come through here, usually some of the usual suspects. And then we've got another show that we do Friday nights, 9:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Larry and I, and now Nomi, we've added her to the permanent roster on there as of last night. And then I've been doing this thing with Ryan from Legion Games on Sundays and Horny Alf, where we go over Star Trek that we've been doing lately too. Specifically right now, season 3 of Picard, but there's some plans in the works for other stuff later that I
Well,
don't
if
think
you
I
guys
should
do
announce
Star
yet.
Trek Deep Space Nine, you might have to include me on that. Because I love Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Siska's my man.
It may come to something like that, Kat. I probably shouldn't announce anything directly yet, but
Yeah.
So, but there are plans in the works to do some fun stuff down the road with that and all that. So, but most of the time too, like if we're on and my co-hosts have channels that they can also stream to, we do the simulcasting thing because I think rising tide lifts all ships, right?
Right. It builds hours and it builds views and it just draws more attention to everyone's channel.
And more people get to enjoy us.
True.
I mean that's really
well. More people get to enjoy me.
I mean, they did. Bye.
Shut up, Larry.
Clearly, you're missing Shadow because
No, I'm really not.
Where is Captain America anyway?
I don't know. He was in chat at the beginning, and then
he probably had work.
He's got a part-time job now, so yeah, he's working.
I think he has 2.
Good for
What's
him.
he doing? Modeling, bouncing, what?
Probably bagging groceries. Would be my guess.
I think he did mention Starbucks, which good
A
luck.
barista. A barista.
Good luck, Shadow.
And we thought he hated people already.
I know, right?
Oh,
That barista ship's gonna turn him.
Wait till he gets that latte wrong.
Right.
And somebody need to tell him Edgelord is probably not welcome there.
Have you been to a Starbucks lately?
No,
I was gonna say they are like woke as hell. Wait until
they're all edgelords.
Wait until he gets his first pink-haired lunatic who starts screeching about how he got their pronouns wrong.
He goes to college. He already sees that.
Yeah.
This drink doesn't have soy.
You don't need honey. I hate to break it to you. You don't need any more soy. I'm doing you a favor.
Oh boy!
If you get in an accident, he's gonna demand a soylene drip.
That's terrible, Larry. That's a bad pun. Bad pun.
Boo!
It takes a village to get it right.
Oh, that's the third time. That's twice this episode, and the third time you used that
that's
one.
third. That's the third time I've used village.
Yeah, food service is terrible. It's not a fun gig.
I mean,
It's a good place to start, though, to build character and to build an appreciation of how that is supposed to work.
Yes.
Exchange of goods and services.
I'm still in that field, so
I tell you what, if he keeps that thing right around, if he keeps that job right around Christmas season, he's gonna be sorry he had it because people are gonna be begging him for bags of coffee. Or the certain brands come out certain types of year.
Oh yeah.
The only time that I've ever seen worse than that is a friend of mine, my friend's husband, and we're friends too. He goes on Facebook. Keep in mind Facebook, and this is 2016, right? And it goes, "Hey everybody," and he's an engineer. I just got it. He posts he posts his hiring agreement, right?
Mhm.
The job's at Louis Vuitton. How many women do you know? Do you know how many women that he hadn't heard from in years was hitting him up asking for a purse? His mom was getting in a fight with people because she was demanding a purse from him.
Oh God, I know what that's like.
In an hour, he had like a couple of hundred women on his page fighting and demanding purses from him.
That's ridiculous. Speaking
And
of,
then they started calling him, the ones that had his number. And then next time I saw him, he was like, I shouldn't have done that.
No.
No.
yeah,
He was like, I
I don't.
shouldn't have told anybody where I work. He said, Larry, they've been calling me nonstop, demanding. I said, you should have done it.
Never, ever give away your work location because, well, some people are cool about it. Some people won't be. I mean, that's just the nature of like humanity, really.
Right.
You know, people are jacked up. They are. And on that cheery note, we're probably going to bring this episode to a close. We've been running over 3 hours now, so
Good
and
times.
we've all got stuff we've got to get on with this evening, as it were. So that said, why don't we go around the horn? JV, where can the good people find you?
Tomorrow they will find me on Wookie Be Bad, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. Myself, I believe Tyler the Red Beard or Static 2020 with special guest Magitech Mags.
Nice.
And then Monday, Wednesday, and Friday my regular content, and then who knows with the other panel shows that I'm on. Who knows what's going on with them? But you will all know when it is. But definitely, the Monday night, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, I will be on Cannoli Sasquatch. They are doing their movie review, and they will be reviewing Joker. So of course they're bringing me on for that, and you're gonna get something special. You're gonna get this in full Joker glory.
It will be special. It will be. I think actually the first time I ever saw you, you were in full makeup.
Oh wow! Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that was. I can't remember what the occasion was, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that you were in full makeup. You had the green hair and everything.
Oh yeah.
So, Larry,
Yes.
what you got? What you got coming up?
So, as you guys know, I am working on my channel. My channel, I will have everything set up, and I will release the link next Friday. I'm already going through my current library of games, and I'm also looking at picking up Diablo 4 and just make a decision of how I want to start it off. But the best thing to do is to just start it off. So I will have two channels. It will not be the same one that you guys see. I may still do something with this one, but because I moderate and do all the do all the stuff that I do. I wanted to keep it a bit separate, but I want to at least have it so people can find me or if they need to message me. But bringing everything back to circle, you can find me here with Samuel the Infamous every Friday on Abyss of Musings, and usually every Saturday on this show if I have time. That's it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, and we do a lot of stuff with Larry. Moving on to Kat.
Yo, I'm Kat the Hijabi Gamer. I have a YouTube channel, The Hijabi Gamer. I will be making more content. Recently, I did one about Netflix Cleopatra. Tomorrow, I will be live streaming Warframe with Muggsykins, Behemoth, UA. We've gotten Zenny into Warframe and even Shadow into Warframe. Warframe is free. Download it. It's on PC, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch. Just send me a message on Twitter. I'm on Twitter at GamerHijabi if you want to join us on the Discord. Thursdays, me and Shadow of Hawk have a live stream called Merry Madness. It's been up in the air because Shadow has a second job now, so it's kind of difficult. Other than that, I'll be on Legion Games Royal Rumble on Friday, and then back here again.
Nice. Also, she's like a crack pusher with that Warframe stuff.
I did not mean for people to get into it, and then I'm like, hey, people are liking it. So
Just
Come to the dark side. We have Warframe.
Warframe isn't a game; it's a way of life now.
You say so. Sound like a pusher. I'm just saying.
Hey, no, I am a pusher now. I am definitely a pusher.
Even.
I
Wonder
just
why
the
I don't like games now.
sad
There you
thing
go.
is,
It's yeah. I just make it fun of Cat because it's
I know.
funny. It's
yeah, I
funny
am a
to me.
pusher. The only sad thing is I'm not a partner with Digital Extremes because I got people into the game.
Fair enough. I guess that brings it back around to me. I have just listed off all the crap that I'm doing. So a little bit earlier in the show, so you can go back and look at that. So we will cut this short and sweet. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to all of my panelists and co-hosts here. It's been a lot of fun, as it usually is, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you all. Then remember, with that being said, it could always be worse, YouTube. It could be raining flaming cobras. Good night, everybody.
Well, I say every day it's a getting closer to taking